What's up, Weebs? So, as we said, our Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness review is going to be separate from this week's podcast. As we discussed in the last episode in the beginning of the intro, we are going to be doing a spoiler-free review of Doctor Strange and a spoiler-heavy review afterwards. So, if you haven't seen the movie, make sure you listen to the spoiler-free part and then dip. And yeah, because we'll be discussing hella spoilers, pretty much everything that happened in the movie for the most part. And with all that being said, my name is Diego, aka Wrath, and I'm accompanied by the usual suspects: Adrian, aka Star Psycho,
Yo.
Brennan,
Hello.
and Jay Avocado.
What's up?
So to kick it off, we're gonna do obviously the spoiler-free part, just kind of general our thoughts and shit on it. To start it off, because can't really discuss details, for spoiler free. So Adrian or Brennan, whichever one, what did you guys think of the movie?
I think people lied about this movie and they said it was trash. I'm here to tell you that is false advertisement right there. That is fraudulent information that is being spread around on social media, and I am here to put a stop to it. I'm putting my foot down and saying it's not trash, it's fire. But maybe just because I'm a Marvel head ass and I just love Marvel. I just have their big meat in my mouth, Maybe I just love it. But I just don't really see too many problems with this movie, even as just a storytelling point. Some people will say it feels all over the place. I don't really see it how it's too crazy given the premise. It's actually like pretty condensed. It's easy to digest. So, yeah, that's all I got for now.
Am I going next? This is how we doing it.
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun to watch. I loved how parts of it felt very nostalgic of like a older Sam Raimi movie. Like there was just aspects that I was watching and I was just like, this makes me think of like the old Sam Raimi, like Spider-Man, like the way like scenes would be cut or whatever. Story wise, I thought it was pretty straightforward. I don't think it was all that chaotic. The stuff that happened and went around was chaotic, but story driven wise, I don't think it was really that chaotic. I liked the horror aspect of it, like having in a little bit more like, like creepy, eerie feeling seat in it. I thought that was a very interesting twist because it's like it felt like a superhero movie, but not a superhero movie, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And is there anything else I can think of that's not spoiler? I feel like that covers just about everything. It's a good movie. I don't think I can understand why like typical Marvel fans would maybe not be happy with it because it's like I guess it doesn't 100% feel like a Marvel movie, but it does at the same time, at least for me. It's just it's like a Thor Ragnarok. Like Thor Ragnarok kind of changed how Marvel movies like went about for a little bit, adding in a lot more like comedy and stuff like that and like having that more like free flowing feel to them. And this one's just it's that, but instead of like it being based on the comedy and free flow, it was more of like horror and just I guess serious base. Oh, that was the thing I was missing. There were some parts that kind of made me cringe and I was just like, really? Like that's how we doing this? But other than that, it was good.
I guess I'm going next.
Well, before you actually go, now I haven't watched a lot of Sam Raimi movies, but I've seen on like Twitter, that apparently there's a lot of homages to some of his old films, and I'll point out one specific one when we get to spoilers. If you happen to be like a big Sam Raimi fan, I think you'll enjoy this movie for some of the homages, if nothing else. But yeah.
I'm not a naysayer.
Yes, you are.
I'm a truth speaker. All right. There's something Brennan said that I really agreed with. Oh, that's right. Okay. This movie does not, I agree with Brennan on the fact that the movie does not feel like most other MCU movies. It is much darker. In stylistically, it's very much out there, but it's not how do I describe it? Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi really like create a stylistic version of Thor. I think, or for that movie, I think that this movie has like a lot of stylistic flair, so it stands out on it like separate from the MCU, just like that does. Um, so I would say that. Uh, I actually, I'm the people that Adrian's talking about. I don't like this movie. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think that if you are a major comic book fan, which Adrian is, I think that you can really enjoy this movie a lot more than someone who's only an MCU movie fan, or even just, if anyone just comes into this movie and watches it, I don't think they're going to enjoy it as much as a comic book reader. I feel like I have a lot of problems with the story, and I know you guys say you don't feel like it's chaotic, but I think that the movie really is all over the place and way too fast paced. Um, but it still has a lot of style. Like how do I put this? It isn't afraid to take risks, and I think sometimes those risks pay off, and sometimes they don't. And that's just how it is. So those are my thoughts on the movie.
Jay, I would say less necessarily comic book fans, but more of like if you haven't watched some of or like some of the more important like what if shows, you might be really confused. But I feel like because like I don't know a lot about comic wise,
I was
but like
about
I
to say,
understood a lot of the references because I've seen the what ifs. I think this kind of like goes back to like what I was saying a good amount of episodes ago. What if was at first we thought of it as like, oh, they're just showing like the separate storylines that they've kind of done like spin-offs of. But I think it was more of them opening up the universe before the multiverse was opened, like officially. Um, but I would argue it's more of like, have you seen the what ifs and do you understand those? Because if not, then yeah, I guess could seem a little weird and all over the place. Um, but uh, like for example, this isn't spoiler because it's in the trailer, but Supreme Strange, the evil Doctor Strange. If you've seen What If, then you know exactly what that world is and you know exactly how he got that way and you know exactly who he is. But if you haven't seen What If and you're not familiar with the comics, then yeah, you're going to be like, what the hell happened here? But most MCU fans have seen like at least like clips and stuff of What If or like certain episodes of it because they get curious. So I would argue it's not necessarily comic wise.
yeah.
Well, I
I'm
just
a
want to
have
respond to
to.
that real quick.
Okay.
Um, I will admit that I didn't watch all of What If. I mean, I watched the first few episodes, but I don't know. I couldn't push myself to get through it. But I don't think that watching What If would have changed my opinion, because one of the main reasons why I think comic book fans would like this movie more than me, a non-comic book writer, comic book reader, is really based on something that is a huge spoiler for the movie, which I can't really talk about now. I don't feel like I was. I don't. I could be wrong, but I really don't feel like if I watched What If, I would have enjoyed the movie any more than I did, or watched all of What If.
Well, the reason why I'm going to back Brennan up with the it's not really a comic book reader thing is because like there's not a lot of stuff that happened in this movie that like only comic book people would know. Like yes, comic book people would be more hype for it, but like I feel like a lot of the stuff that I am excited for, Brennan's also excited for, and I feel like there's really outside of one thing that we'll talk about later, but again, like we can't talk about it right now. Like outside of that one thing that happens, you can't. I feel like even if somebody hasn't read the comics, they would still be just as or around as excited as I was for those things happening. But I'm gonna use this as a good little transition into my review because fuck you, Javen. um, honestly, I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie, and from a Doctor Strange fan, I really enjoy it, but at the same time, like the movie as a whole, objectively, it's pretty good. That's the best thing I can give it because, like, I agree with Javen 100%. It's really kind of all over the place. And, like, or not all over the place, but the pacing is fucking insane. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was just way too fast paced. But how long was the movie?
It was
2 hours
only
and
2
6
hours.
minutes.
2 hours. I feel like if they dragged it out to 2:30, it would have maybe been better. But
I agree.
who knows? There's a lot of things that, again, we'll talk about in the spoiler review that I feel like happened way too quickly and is kind of to the detriment of the movie. And like I as a comic book fan, more of a comic book fan than Adrian, thank you very much, Javen.
Okay, but he
No.
already gave his review, so that's why I said that though.
I know, but you still could have said me, bitch, because I'm the
I'm
bigger comic book
sorry.
fan.
He
Fuck
wants to
you.
feel included.
As a comic book fan, I feel like I feel like there isn't really much that happens in this movie that only a comic book fan would feel satisfied for seeing. Like, if you've seen everything that Marvel has put out, period, MCU or not, then you'll be, just as excited as me or Brennan were about the movie, or even Adrian. And if you haven't, which I think, have you seen all of the Fox stuff, Javen?
All the X-Men movies I have.
What about the Fantastic Four movies?
Yeah, I watched both of them.
I'm cutting that part out because I just needed that for context. I can't even say anything without being spoiler free.
Oh my god, yeah, you went too far, bro.
No, I was just asking to make sure, but since you said that you've seen all of them, I was gonna say something and I was like, never mind, because that's spoilers. I don't know. I feel like if you're a Marvel fan, like a hella Marvel fan, you'll appreciate it as much. But Javen he's a bum. Don't listen to him.
You know what? Let me retcon one small statement. There's a huge narrative decision in this movie that I personally felt like comic book fans would appreciate more than just MCU fans. And that is my big problem with the movie.
We'll talk about
Like,
it.
at least story-wise, okay? So, I'm being really mysterious. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. For, like, personally, it makes me really upset to hold this opinion because Doctor Strange is my second favorite superhero, but in my opinion, this is stronger than the first Doctor Strange movie, but for different reasons. Cause like narratively, I feel like Doctor Strange 1 is better, but like taking everything into consideration for this one, it's better. Like, you know what I'm
But
trying to say.
I would also argue it's not necessarily like you could have easily named this movie Scarlet Witch in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I want to say you shouldn't judge this movie based upon Doctor Strange. While yes, he is the technical more important role, Scarlet Witch is literally like, this movie doesn't happen without Scarlet Witch.
Well, and that's my issue though, because like I love the X-Men and Doctor Strange is my second favorite superhero. So for being like not as over the moon for this movie as I anticipated I was going to be for fucking years, it's kind of upsetting, but it happens. But yeah, I personally would give it like an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10, and I'll do an 8.5 if I have to like give a specific number for you guys to understand what my opinion actually is, because I know that I probably made no sense. But yeah.
No, you make sense because from what you say, it sounds like you really appreciate the superhero stuff in the movie, even though the movie has issues, like
Yeah.
as a movie.
Like we'll
like,
talk
the
about
story-
it because I have a
the
handful
story-
of issues with this, but I feel like
The good outweighs the bad for you.
yeah.
I mean, if it's an 8.5, I mean that's high.
Yeah, it's very high for you to have a lot of issues with the movie. Inherently.
See, my issues are with shit that we can't talk about here, like whatsoever.
So can we just move on to the spoiler?
Yeah, okay. So if you haven't seen the movie just yet and you're crazy and want to know what happens, continue listening. If you don't want to know, this is why I'm rambling on a little bit, so it gives you a chance to turn off the video, pause it, whatever. But if you watch the movie and you're interested in what the rest of our thoughts are on the movie, or like, if you let me rephrase that. If you haven't watched the movie, after you watch it, if you want to know what our thoughts are, just come back and listen to the rest of this, watch the rest of this, and comment what you think. And if not, hopefully we'll catch you in the next podcast. Every week, Fridays, keep an eye out. Anyways, spoiler-free section. If you're still here, I'm sorry, but you're gonna get spoiled. So since you want to have like a structure for this, Javen, I'm gonna let you take the ropes.
Okay, sure. Welcome to my video now, my review now.
This is the Javen Avocado Podcast.
Exactly. This is my plan all along. All right. So
Hijack
now
it
we
and
can
kick
talk
us
about
off.
spoilers. Now we can talk about spoilers. So let's talk about what happens in this movie. So we get introduced to America Chavez, a teenage superpowered individual who can open up portals to different multiverses, different universes entirely.
By accident.
By accident. She has no control over this. So Wanda, if you've seen WandaVision, you know she created her fake family with Vision and her kids using her crazy powers, and they didn't come out the other end of that show. Let's just put it that way. So she knows that her children, Billy and Tommy, right? Okay, Billy. Yeah, she knows that her children, Billy and Tommy, exist in other universes. So she's like, I know America Chavez exists. I'm finna use her power. I'm gonna take her power so I can go to whatever universe I want and have my happy life with my kids. And Doctor Strange is like, no. So yeah, and then Doctor Strange and America Chavez are he's trying to protect the girl from Wanda.
Well, hold on. You're
at any
missing a big
cost.
thing. You're missing a big
What?
thing.
What am I missing?
She doesn't want to just take America Chavez and force her to like just be with her so she can go to her kid.
Oh yeah,
she
wants
wants
to
to steal
kill
her
her
power.
and steal her power.
She wants to steal her
like
power.
kill her power, take her power. So
I thought I
like
said that.
No, you didn't mention
Oh.
the killing her part.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just kind of skip past.
All right.
that.
I mean,
that's
I thought
like-
it was
that's
implied,
important
Like,
why-
take her power.
because like at first you hear Wanda and you're like, that's not that bad. Like let's be honest, like you really
like,
just
that
want to be with
makes
your kids. Like
sense.
that ain't that bad. But like to throw in that like you have to kill this person, take their powers, and then to throw in the fact that now you have the Scarlet Witch able to go throughout universes, like that's not a good look.
Especially since she's like kind of unhinged. Kind of
Yeah,
don't
Wanda's
want
lost
somebody
her
to
mind.
be.
She's 100% the villain of this movie.
Yeah.
Like this
Mhm.
isn't just you know what? They're
Like-
right. I should have said it. She wants to murder America Chavez and use her power to steal her kids from some other Wanda. She gonna replace that other Wanda. So yeah, our Wanda is off the deep end.
She gone quite bonkers, mate.
Yeah.
That bitch's fingers are black, boy.
Yeah, she's that dark
She
hole
look
did
like-
something to her, bro.
Yeah.
Also, or something black too.
Excuse me.
This
This is not what we're here for, HG.
Well,
Y'all thought y'all gonna get away from me?
Yeah.
So yeah, if you really if you sum it down to like the basic elements, it's Wanda is the total villain. She wants to use America Chavez's powers to, get her kids, and Doctor Strange tries to help America and prevent Wanda from doing this. As a general story, like how do you guys think, like what do you guys think of that? Like Was that a good plan?
That's like a
Like a
solid
solid-
plot, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
My issue with it is throughout the movie, she looks very menacing, very evil. But like the root of the thing is like not menacing at all. Like like it really just comes down to like a mom wants her kids back, bruh. Like
Yeah,
and
but
like
she
for
killing
me,
people
it's like
for
it
it.
she's
just
like possessed by the
no,
book
yeah, but like
and has chaos magic, which doesn't help her case of being.
but
Oh,
my point is like it's not like for example, Doctor Strange points out the fact of like we'd have Wanda running around the multiverse, able to go wherever she wants and could create an army, could do this, could be that. But like Wanda
I think-
herself, when you see her, like you can tell it's really all about her kids. She like and because they even hit you with the well, if you just want to go, why don't we just let America send you there? And she's like, no, I need the power because in every universe there's a cure for every disease. So like when her kid catches cancer, she can go to a different universe, get it cured. It's all good, right? Like there's nothing that could happen to her kids, but like it's all around her kids. So like I don't like for me, I didn't really get the feeling of like this is a big threat. Like she could go into the multiverse, get all the Wandas together, and just like, bruh, she wiping the floor at everybody. It's just like I really feel like if she got America Chavez's powers, like we wouldn't see her. She'd just be with her kids.
Yeah, but like letting somebody who is gonna go as far as killing people for that shit, I feel like I get what you're trying to say, but like I feel like it's not what she's using that power for. It's the fact that like she's justifying that, like justifying killing a kid just to go kill another Wanda and then possibly kill a third Wanda, a fourth Wanda, a fifth Wanda, a sixth Wanda for those kids. Like I see where like, you're right. It's not like an end all be all kind of thing, but not every movie needs to have an end all be all kind of thing. Like, I feel like a lot of complaints for a lot of people lately, considering Marvel movies, is that every single villain is like an end of the world villain, and they just want like some people just want small shit. And I feel like this is small shit. Like, granted, it's like on a big scale, but it's not Wanda trying to tear the multiverse apart. You know what I mean?
Man, it's small shit that could be very, 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 very big shit.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's small shit, but on a big scale, if that makes sense. Like, I know that that's like that, you know what I mean? Like, they both, that cancels each other out, but you get what
I
I'm
get
trying
what
to
you
say.
mean. It's not like she's trying to take over the whole multiverse or anything. She just wants her kids. Like it's something a little personal.
Yeah, and it's just as simple as, hey, we'll bring you to a different universe, and that's it. Like, I know another fucking complaint people are gonna have is this is like a movie plot that could be solved by having a good the right conversation, but it'd be like that sometimes.
Nah, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
sometimes
That was just to me. It was just like it was a very like something that felt. I get it. You want small, but this feels almost too small. Like I get it. It's oh well, she's willing to kill a kid to go see her kids. It's like, bro, I'm sorry. You asked my mom, would you kill this kid to save your kid? She probably saying yes. like that's like natural mom thing. Like you know what I mean? Like
That's
it
the
like
thing,
it's a
though.
very and
Like,
it's relatable. I get it.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
It's
just saying
relatable.
like we could have done something a little more like important or not important but like a little more of a like more threatening because I'm not saying that it's like not a threat at all. I'm just saying like I'm not justifying anything. I'm just saying I'm like I mean let's be honest, if she just gonna be with her kids, let her have the damn powers, like I don't really care. Like
Bruh.
like don't get me wrong, obviously you can't do that because like God forbid something happened and she changes her mind and wants to take over the multiverse. Like
Exactly.
she But what I'm saying is, throw a little bit, like, yes, we see she's unhinged about being able to just kill a kid and like kill another Wanda and take over that. We get it. But we didn't get the sense of her being that unhinged to the point where she could snap and take over the entire multiverse. Like, if they would have thrown that in there, like at the end, she would have been like, you know what? Why stop at these kids? I could have them all. Like something to where she was planning on going more than just one universe away. Like, then it would have felt like, all right, now this bitch is like low key. Like, she crazy. She trying to have the same like version of the same kids and have like infinite of them, and like
I don't know
that's
about all
like
that, bro.
crazy.
Because
I
that
think this
that
mostly.
that This Is a Throne scene kind of gave me those vibes to where it may not just stop at getting Billy and Tommy back.
I didn't
And
get that vibe
not
ever.
only that, it's just kind of like halfway through the movie, there's like a plot point of like, oh, what was it called when two universes like collide on each other? Either one or both of them. Like
Incursion.
incursion, yeah, it's a plot point. So like, if she causes that, and then let's say one of the other kids died, she's gonna probably like try to do that again, like that same thing. It's probably gonna be like one kid get hit by a bus, another hits, or one of them falls off a cliff. She can't do anything about it because she wasn't near the kid when it happened.
Well, see, here's one of my this is my first on the list of complaints. I feel like they made an incursion feel like it's not that big of a deal. Like, obviously it's a big deal, you know, like a whole
I think it's
universe
like a
imploding on
big
itself.
deal, like
But
later on, not immediate.
But I feel like if to Brennan's point, I feel like if they made the incursion be a bigger issue than it actually like seemed in the movie, then maybe Brennan wouldn't feel this way. Because if Doctor Strange is like, oh well, you're gonna cause that universe to implode on itself with another universe, this universe, and she turns around and says, oh, I don't care, I have infinite children, then it's, oh, she just don't give a shit about nobody but them kids. So now we definitely do not. Yeah,
The stakes
it
are
adds
higher.
the stakes.
To me, the stakes didn't feel as. It's just like anime, Black Clover. How we've always said, like it just like they've removed all stakes from the manga, right? Me and Adrian have said that. We've said that's a big problem. For me, just the movie stakes didn't feel that high.
See,
ever.
the reason why I have an issue is because the stakes are there, but they just didn't connect them to where it's obvious. You know what I mean?
They didn't make it
Yeah.
feel like a big deal. It was just kind of like, this bitch really just want her kids. Like, give her damn
Well, not
kids.
even that, but it's just like, oh, this one universe like had an incursion. Big whoop.
Yeah, they didn't.
Because not even at the Baxter Foundation did they say anything about incursions being extremely dangerous, or that every time one incursion happens, the next time that an incursion starts on a different universe, it happens quicker, and that it has multiversal consequences. They didn't mention any of that shit. Which I feel like if they did, in tandem with Wanda trying to hop universes, it would have made everybody be like, oh, so now it's not just her trying to get some kid's powers, big whoop. It's she could cause the fucking multiverse to fall apart. There's the stakes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good fix.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I have, like, I know it's kind of nitpicky, but that's a big issue that I have because, like, because yes, I do, like, I don't think it's as big of a problem as probably Brennan does, because I'm just like, whatever, it's the plot of the movie, I don't care. But like, it's an easy fix. Just have those two have some relevancy with one another, and then suddenly Wanda just wanting America Chavez feels so much more important than it does throughout the entire movie. Because I don't know if it's just you guys, but I really didn't feel like it was like what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, I didn't feel like it was that like dangerous if Wanda did get America Chavez. Like, yes, knowing what an incursion is, obviously I know, but like the movie doesn't make it seem like it's that big of a deal. Outside of, you're obviously killing a child.
Actually, kind of agree with what you guys are saying. I mean, I see both sides. I see the one side, whereas, you know, minimum America Chavez dies, another Wanda dies, we never see our Wanda again, and that's it. Like that's minimal problems. But hypothetically, what if, something happens to the kid, and hypothetically the cure is she has to murder an entire like universe? She would do it because she's that unhinged. So it's a tricky situation. I feel like another fix would be, I feel like stakes. Yes, there's the literal stakes, like how many casualties, how catastrophic is this going to be, and then there's like stakes for the actual characters. I think that the stakes for Doctor Strange himself, who is supposed to be the main character,
Solo.
didn't feel that high at all.
There was
Like,
literally no
he was
stakes for
gonna
him.
lose. That's what I'm saying. He was gonna lose this teenage girl who he barely knows. Like, those were the stakes for him.
No, the
What it felt
highest that his stakes get is when he put himself directly in front of Wanda. That's it.
like.
Because
I feel like
if he
it's-
wasn't standing directly in front of Wanda, Wanda didn't give a shit about him.
Yeah, they didn't have any close personal connections at all.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Like, I don't.
This movie for Doctor Strange was more showing his personal growth as like being like a leadership, but also being able to not be the person who always has to be control and be able to let other people take control, because that was kind of the underlying message in the movie of like, you can't control everything. There's gonna come a point where you have to put your trust into other people, because it starts with Christine at the wedding. He tells her, you always have to be the one holding the knife, using like the surgery
Listen, bro. All I'm
thing.
saying is, when Doctor Strange 6 rolls around, he's going to be the only one left with magical powers, and he kind of has to be the one holding the knife. That's all I'm saying.
Well, but my point is still
No,
like,
I know. I was
it
just
was
making a joke.
him. It was him coming out of like feeling, because like, think Doctor Strange 1, arrogant douchebag, right? Basically like almost like another Tony Stark, right? Some people love him, some people hate him.
Infinity War. A little bit less of a douchebag, still a douchebag.
Still very arrogant, and like think even Endgame, like throughout Endgame, like he's the one in control because he's the one who knows what's supposed to happen. So he's kind of like guiding it. So like, let's say someone else is holding the knife. Well, he's holding that person's hand and guiding them, right? So like, let's say Tony Stark was holding the knife because he's the one who sacrificed himself. Yes, but also Doctor Strange knew that that's what had to happen. So what did he do? He took Tony's hand and he guided him with the knife, right? This was the first movie where at the end of the movie, he was like, yes, I can 100% take this little girl's power, kill her, fix everything.
But I'm not
That's
going
not the
to.
play. That's not the right move.
Yeah.
Sweetie, you got this. Do you? Do you, boo-boo? So like, this movie felt more of character development for Doctor Strange than him being like a big hero or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like, my biggest complaint is he kind of felt like a side character in his own movie, which is why I was like teetering back and forth earlier for the spoiler free. Because like, it really just feels like he's a side character in my opinion. I don't know if I'm the only one, but
I semi agree. Like,
I don't know.
I
I
feel like
mean,
he
unless
has
you're
a lot
saying
of.
Wanda is the main villain or main character, I don't see like America Chavez taking the main character role. I don't know. I don't feel like her development was too crazy for me to like connect it as a
well,
main.
see, for me, it felt like America and Wanda were like passing back and forth. Like, the fucking first 15 minutes is the only time that it actually felt like Doctor Strange was the main character, and the last 15. But yeah, the entire movie, it just kind of felt like America and Wanda were passing the torch back and forth.
You know what? I think I can agree with that because I definitely see the character development that Doctor Strange had, but I just felt like it was only like it only took effect or only like had it like I didn't feel like it developed throughout the movie. I just felt like at the very end he was just like, okay, I'm gonna do this differently now.
Not
Does
even.
anyone else see it that way?
Not even. He started the movie with that character development because he learned of her powers and he was just like, nah, you got it. Like, never once did it. Like, yes, the other Doctor Strange was like, no, I need this power because I know how to use it. Like, never once in the entire movie did Doctor Strange ever have like a bad morality call when it comes to America. And like, I feel like there was no character development for him whatsoever. Like, he had development before the movie, and we're just seeing the after effects
Outcome.
of that development, which I'm not complaining about. Like, I like seeing, Doctor Strange not be an asshole. It's just like, you don't see anything happen on screen that makes him be like, oh, I should probably change this. It's just Christine got married. He runs into a kid who doesn't know how to deal with her powers, and he just takes the moral high ground for both of those things. Like,
Wow. Yeah. I didn't even think about it that way. I mean to be fair though, when he had the chance to take her power the first time, I don't think there was any shot he was going to because I mean,
that's what
come
I'm
on.
saying. Like, I
You know,
don't feel like that thought ever crossed his mind.
The worst he got was even I could do this, or even I could like he starts like basically saying like even I could figure out how to use your powers, and
Yeah.
I don't even have your powers. Like, come on. But it was never like a thought of like even I could just take your powers and do this,
Yeah.
or like in like a menacing way.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
It's
he
more
never
of just like,
debated taking her powers, so there wasn't
and he
really any
saw it
character
made her
development for him.
uncomfortable, so
Yeah.
he was like, hold on. But I mean, like, this kind of leads on, like, the one thing I've kind of enjoyed about Doctor Strange, the fact that he's had and this is why I think the movie is like this. He's had very prominent roles in other movies lately. Like, for example, how Iron Man had his big 3 movies, and then after that, he just played important roles in other movies. Think of Doctor Strange almost as like they took Iron Man, but they're doing it in slow. Like, he has his big movies, but he's also playing prominent roles in other movies, and his character development has been going on through those movies, especially in like Spider-Man. You see him kind of take that like I don't want to say fatherly because I feel like that's the wrong word, but I feel like leadership role is also the wrong word. But you're seeing him grow into the veteran who realizes he has to kind of train these younger kids
That's what I'm
to
saying.
be able to help them grow, because he realizes like where he's at, he's good. Like, obviously he can always become a better sorcerer, but he realizes, okay, I'm the veteran here.
Yeah.
I can't just take control and do everything for him, because then these kids don't get to learn and grow. And in America Chavez's like point, I can't take her power because she dies. Like,
Well,
so
see, I feel like this movie is like what's it called? Um the product of the character development he received in Spider-Man No Way Home. Cuz like, you could see how he changed from getting tied up by Peter to when he shows up to help the 3 Spider-Men. You know what I mean? Like, he definitely made a change between those 2 moments. So,
well, he realized he was wrong.
yeah,
It was
exactly.
like it wasn't black and white. He also realized like this kid can do things without me having to like
Babysit.
hold his hand through it. Like, Peter Parker was the one who proved it. And then Peter Parker also looked at him, and obviously he doesn't know Peter Parker, but he knows he did the spell. Like, we see in this movie, he's aware of Spider-Man, and I'm pretty sure he's aware he did the spell.
Yeah.
So, he knows that Spider-Man made that decision or whatever. Like, he must still know that. So it's kind of just like, he's learning,
Yeah.
And this movie was the official, like, he is the veteran. He understands that he can't just do it. Like, this was like solidifying and like putting it in stone.
Yeah. Yeah, because he even handed off like Wanda to her, which I thought was pretty interesting. Because normally, like the titular character is the one who handles the big bad in the final fight, but he just let America do it, which I think is a really like a cool change for the movie structure. You know what I mean?
I mean, he didn't really have any other choice. Let's be honest.
I know, but I'm saying like normally they would just handle it regardless of whether like somebody else would do it better or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And to be honest, America Chavez ain't really handle her.
she kind of
All I'm
did.
saying,
She kind
she
of
was
did.
throwing hands, and I'm gonna ask the question. She might be able to throw hands with Thanos low key. She got that power.
She's
She was throwing hands with Wanda, bro.
from
I was
my
sitting here like,
understanding of
yo.
her, she's pretty fucking powerful because she's got super
Okay.
strength, she can fly, and she's got those dimensional powers.
Hold on,
Well,
bro.
hold on.
Put some respect on her name, bro. Wanda ate those licks and then blocked her punch, and the only reason America Chavez got away is because she essentially gave Wanda what she wanted in a big old cliche
Look,
moment.
first of all, don't act like I'm trying to downplay Wanda. I'm just saying.
I ain't downplaying Wanda. I'm just saying.
No, I'm
maybe-
talking to Brennan. I'm not downplaying Wanda. I'm just saying America Chavez, from my understanding of her, is a pretty strong character. That's the only statement I was making. Because Wanda will wipe the floor with 99% of the Marvel universe. Like, easy. But anyways, we're spending way too much time not talking about the actual movie.
Yeah, hold on. Let's not get off topic here. Let's finish talking about Doctor Strange. So, Adrian, you're the only one who I feel like I haven't heard your opinion about his character arc in the movie.
Well, pretty much, I just saw it as his pursuit of happiness because, like, it seemed like a common theme of people asking him, like, "Oh, are you happy?" Christine asked him. Even Supreme Strange even asked him. I forgot someone else who asked him. No, Wanda asked him that too. So I felt like him and Wanda also like paralleled because they were trying to pursue happiness, but it was like through the means of the past. So like they're still stuck on like stuff they had before, like Wanda's having her kids that made her happy, or she kept dreaming about them at least. Steven still thinking about Christine, how he wants to still be with her no matter what. Um, I forgot where I was going with this too. Damn, I really lost train of thought of that. I don't know. I just saw it was just very interesting. I feel like that was like something I haven't heard anyone talk about. It's just their
He's
pursuit of
on the
like that.
pursuit of
I actually
happiness.
really like that.
No.
Because that's
Yeah,
a really good thing. Because they do actually really parallel each other really well.
And I don't know what I forgot Doctor Strange answer to Pursuit of Happiness. I don't think Wanda ever found that answer.
I don't
She
think
just-
we ever got told. Because, like, it's obvious he's not happy. He lost the girl of his dreams. But me knowing Doctor Strange, I'm like, you got 3 other chicks that you could end up with. Don't worry about Christine.
I don't think it's a matter of finding happiness. It's a matter of coming to terms with accepting the past and also being able to appreciate the things you have now, because it's the answer is Wong's answer at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
There are times where I wonder what it's like for the other universe, like the other me's and other universes, but that never distracts me away from appreciating what I have here now.
Honestly,
So
Wong was
That was
spitting
his
bars,
answer.
bro.
So I don't think it's as much like,
That's
for
like a
example,
life
Wanda.
statement. That's a way of life right there.
Wanda learned to accept that she did become a monster, and she needed to let go and to let the kids, let that universe's Wanda take care of that universe's kids because that's what's best for the kids, while Doctor Strange had to accept, quite a bit of things. He had to accept the fact that like Christine is happy and where she's supposed to be. He's where he's supposed to be. He's got duties. Like, I don't think he could 100% be able to commit to Christine, and he realizes he can't hold her back. I feel like that's part of the like what you're supposed to take away from the conversation that he has with the other universe Christine, where he tells her like, I'll love you in every universe, and he tells her like, I'm scared, like essentially scared of like commitment.
Well, and like
And
I feel like he used that universe's Christine to say the things that he wanted to tell his Christine, but couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, of course, but I mean
Well,
it fit because like that Christine, the only difference between that Christine and his Christine was the fact that that one wasn't married.
yeah. Well, I was saying
You
like he
know,
was using that Christine as a means of closure.
yeah,
Pretty much.
but
There's also the thing if he can let go of the past of like, was that 1%? What was it? One of the trillions choices they had between Thanos. Was that the
millions.
millions? I thought it was trillions.
Yeah, 14 million and 62 or some shit like that.
14,700,000 and something.
Yeah, that number. You can also see like a little bit of him like regretting that choice. Like, was that really the only option that he had? And it was also like him trying to like you can also like see that he finds other choices he has to go against Wanda. It's like it's not like the book, for example. That wasn't his only choice. He felt like he found out at towards the end once the book was destroyed. So, that's where I got for that point.
All
Other
right,
than
Jalen,
that,
move us on to the next.
Well, so yeah, okay. So as you can see, Doctor Strange is he's different than how he was in the first movie, and he had lots of different themes and potential character developments, whether done good or bad, it's there. Now, Doctor Strange had a lot of different types of attacks in this movie visually than I think we've ever seen in any other of his outings in the MCU.
Yes, sir.
I thought it was worth talking about because like these things were very visually different. Like he was using like creatures and music. And what was y'all's thoughts on all of that?
I
The
don't care
glow
about
up.
anything except for the music one.
The glow up I've been waiting for, bro. I've been saying this shit for years. Wait until he fucking learns how to use his powers correctly. He's going to have some of the most visually fucking satisfying attacks in movies, period. And that's exactly what happened in this movie. Some of the most visually satisfying shit. The demons that he summoned, the fucking snakes thing, that music battle that I feel like deserves its own section to talk about because that shit, I don't give a fuck if you think it's cringy, think it's lame, whatever. That was still some of the most visually satisfying shit I've ever seen, period.
That's not just visually, that's audibly. Like,
yeah,
No, that's what I'm
that
saying.
music
That's what I'm
that
saying.
was
Though, like
everything.
that's some of the
beautiful as
That's why I said that it deserves its own section for us to talk about. You fucking bitch. Like Infinity War, him versus Thanos was like a sneak peek at some of the best shit that he has in his whole arsenal. And honestly, some of that stuff wasn't even that crazy, but it still was just really visually satisfying and just different than anything that you've seen. Like when he summoned that whole fucking demon to eat that thing to protect himself, and like
That shit made me laugh.
because you don't expect that. Like from the shit that we've seen him use so far, that surprised me, and I know that he has some crazy shit that he can use. So like,
I was like, where the hell that cat head come from?
Yeah.
but yeah, like I
I
can't
saw
wait
it.
until we get Doctor Strange 3 or he has another supporting role in another movie because it's only up from here is what I'm trying to say. But I will defer to
Anyone
someone
else?
else.
I mean, it
Jalen,
was cool. Like I said, I only really care about the music one.
The music one, and I also like the one where towards the end he's like using the spirits and all that
Yeah.
shit. Like at first when you first see the trailer and you see like undead Strange, and I'm like, oh shit, like zombie Strange going crazy. And yes and no. Like I thought it was like completely like zombie from a different universe Strange, but no, it's not really.
Yeah,
He's just like
because we talked about
robot.
it, and I speculated that it was like a Marvel Zombies kind of thing. I don't know how I feel about it, like completely, but like it's kind of underwhelming, kind of not, I guess.
I get what you mean by that, because like everyone looking at it, and if you're a Marvel fan, you read Marvel Zombies specifically, you know, like that's a possibility. And seeing that, even in What If, like we never saw. I don't even think in What If we saw Strange as a zombie,
Well,
which
and
was
it wasn't, from my understanding, it's not even like a Marvel Zombies proper. It's just a zombie virus that happened. But
We'll be getting Marvel Zombies soon.
yes, sir. I'm so excited
yo.
for that shit.
Can't wait to see
That's
that.
gonna be like pure horror. Ooh. Anyways,
Ooh, speaking of horror, can we go on to that?
well,
Or unless Jay,
yeah, Jay's the radar or
Sorry.
the guiding system,
the
the
director.
GPS.
Horror is a little later in the
All right,
fold.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
So I feel like I actually have the opposite opinion of all of you guys, because you guys said that the zombie Strange was underwhelming for you guys.
For me, it was just because
It
I was
was a little
expecting
bit.
something different. You know what I mean? Like that's why I'm saying I don't know how I feel about it 100%. Because like I set expectations and it wasn't my expectation, so I'm trying to like not be biased.
It was a little bit for me, but nothing too crazy. I was also expecting a little bit like Wanda being extremely brutal to his body, but if anything, she kind of like burned his arm and like face. I say that because the things we saw in the movie, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
Other than that, um, it's a cool concept and a little nod to like Marvel zombies in general, but I was expecting actual like the universe where the zombie virus went fucking bonkers. Yeah, that's all I was really expecting.
See, I get what you're saying, but for me, I thought the idea of like the whole plot setup for him to have that body to use, and then it
That was
reveals like
big
here
brain
he
as
is,
shit.
zombie
500
Strange. Like I
IQ
thought that
test.
was fire. I mean, I thought the way he looked was great too, but I think that the Souls of the Damned thing was a little weird for me. I don't know much about that at all because I don't. Was that something that was in What If or?
So
No,
so the thing with the Darkhold is it's like one of the most evil books in the Marvel universe, and um it's like one of I think like 6 like super evil relics that are made by like the most evil shit, like the Marvel equivalent of Cthulhu made the Darkhold. So it kind of has like I feel like that was kind of just a sneak peek for to your point earlier, for the comic book fans who know the origins of the Darkhold, to where this shit could end up in the future. But yeah. Plus I feel like um what they tried to explain in the movie, because I remember he didn't really explain it. He just said, "When the souls of the damned come for me," and then all we hear is the
Yeah,
one line of, you know, uh, what is it? Dream hopping into a corpse is forbidden. Like that's literally the
yeah,
only context that we get for that. But it's pretty much just his penance for doing something that even like the evil gods who made up that shit would not do. Which
yeah.
is
I
why I'm
got you.
saying, like, or why I said what I said after the movie, that Doctor Strange just does shit. He does not care what the fucking consequences are, which is why I love this man so much.
Yeah. Well, I thought that Zombie Strange was dope, and then for his new abilities, for me, it was really like I don't want to say off-putting, but it was like kind of jarring because I'm so used to for so long in however many movies he's been in now, seeing his powers look a certain way and have
Really
like a
basic.
consistency to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. They were just very even when he went off on Thanos, like I still felt like he wasn't doing anything that was like, oh, I would have never even contemplated this. Like it all just kind of fit what it seemed like his playbook was. But with all of this new stuff, I was like, what the heck? Like it threw me off for sure. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm sorry, y'all, but the music fight was cringy as hell for me.
You're wild for that.
Really?
I'm sorry, bro. Like
I
you're fighting with music notes, like, bro.
dog.
And then on top of that, you all were like saying like, okay, now I will admit visually it looked cool. I admit visually it's cool, but just the idea of it felt like kind of silly. And
Why?
then on top of that,
Like, I
bro, they're
genuinely want
fighting
you
with
to
music
explain
notes.
yourself. I want you to explain yourself.
They pulled music notes off a page and threw them at each other. Do I need to say more? Like I don't know. It was just cringy for me, bro. I don't know
Bro,
what else to
music
say.
is
And on
is
top of that,
heavily incorporated in his character. That's why is that cringy?
I would have never known that. And
What do you
like,
mean you would have
where is
never known
music?
that? Doctor Strange
Where is
1,
music?
they had a whole fucking 5-minute bit about how he knows every single
Oh, that's
song
right.
that he's
I
ever
forgot about
listened
that.
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, it doesn't. I like music doesn't equate to fighting with music notes.
But it's not just, it's the way, like, because he gets hit into the piano, right? The
Right,
papers
right.
go everywhere. He takes the notes off and he starts using them as weapons, right? Like, he takes the notes off the paper, starts using them as sharp weapons. But then they start catching them in the music lines, which is creating its own music, which is the evil, like menacing sounding music against our Doctor Strange good music, like quote unquote good music. And they're throwing them back and forth. And each time Supreme Strange catches it, it turns menacing. He shoots it at him. He catches it. It turns good. And then, like, at first, it's that split. Like, you know whose attack is who. But then they start forming them together to where you're hearing both at the same time going against each other. It was like, I guess you could call it the cliche of like good versus evil, because
Yeah.
it's literally like menacing sounding music versus like happy, air quote, good music.
Now,
But like, it's just the way they incorporate it, because it's like, it's not like they just pulled that out of their ass and he just started shooting music notes. It was like he got hit into a piano and there was music papers around him and he just used what was around him. Now, given, I'm not gonna lie, there's probably plenty of shit that was in there that would like make more sense, but it was also very quick thinking to like see the papers around him and be like, oh shit, I can like definitely use this shit to throw things at him. And then it's just like I said, the way they formulated the music into it to where you get the battle scene music, but it's like they're creating it themselves, and then for it to be mashed together, not even in a pleasant sounding way. It was just both of their musics just colliding, and like I said, it doesn't sound good because it's literally both pieces that are not meant to go together being clashed together. And then he finds the one note and throws the one note that puts it over the edge. To me, it was very well thought out fight sequence that I guess you could call cringy, but to me it made sense because it
see,
was just quick thinking, and then just the way they formulated everything together.
for me, where it turns cringy is when he starts throwing it at Supreme Strange and all the notes are like hitting him and they're not doing anything. That for me was cringy. But like everything beforehand though, it was Brennan was saying, it was just really really cool cuz like I guess you could call it cringy out of context cuz like if you're if they were just throwing notes back and forth at one another and the music was staying the same, yeah, that's cringy, but it was changing. It was a dynamic fight. That's fire. I'm sorry you don't like it, but you're wrong. Anyways,
I mean, I 100% agree with you guys that it is a well thought out fight scene as far as how it starts, how it continues. I mean, but on just the idea of it without any if they I mean I know this doesn't really make sense, but if there was some specific strong reason as to why they would really want to use music notes, I guess. But it just feels like I just don't. The concept of it is just silly to me. Now,
Dog, look.
and on top of that, you talk about how the music is incorporated, but for me, the music, yes, it went from being pleasant sounding to bad and whatever. It was dynamic, but the music wasn't even memorable for me. We can't
Dog,
even
they were
you
fucking
remember the
ripped
song?
straight off of
Exactly.
classic piano pieces. What do you mean? 3 of those songs were Beethoven shit.
3 of those songs. Oh, you got an echo there.
But I don't know, man, because I think you're tripping because literally that's so creative and literally he throws a spell at him, the spell gets countered, and he's like, okay, what's something that he would not expect? Oh, music notes. Whoopam. And he wasn't expecting the music notes, but still turned it around. But I don't know. I think
for this one, it's just personal preference.
no, there's no
If
personal
if
preference.
you're
You're wrong.
yeah, I think it is because if you're willing to accept, because I think this plays into it. Because I said that all of his new moves, for me at least, it was really jarring because of how I'm used to him fighting before.
Mhm.
This is so far off the deep end now that it's just I can't take it seriously anymore. Sure, I'll buy it's already a lot for me to buy his new snake dragon attack and some creature comes out and bites something. That's already a lot for me. And now I'm being asked to accept his music note fight scene, and that's too much for me.
I'd expect a music note before I expect any fucking demon head to fly out and eat some shit.
That part.
I'm sorry, but
That
that's just
part.
personally me.
But also,
No, I mean well, hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. I do want to say this. If and you guys will probably disagree with this too, but I'm not so much hung up on the fact that he pulled music notes off the page and threw it at the guy at the other Doctor Strange. I'm just the whole, even though, and I admit it's a well thought out scene, just the whole idea that they just had a music note battle, it's just so cringy to me, bro. I don't know what else to say.
see, it's unavoidable because if it was just a regular spell that they were throwing back and forth at one another, you would still call it cringy. I can guarantee you.
How, bro?
Because if they're just countering each other's
Because
spells with the same spell and doing that whole shit, but with actual spells, you would either call it boring or cringy.
look, this is one of all I'm saying is I don't think it's boring for sure. It's it's one out of there's two fight there's only for me there's only two really memorable fight scenes in this whole movie, and both of them I thought this one I found cringy and the other one I found underwhelming.
I think, Javen, I think this was their way of finding a good way of being able to give each side characteristic to their spells.
Yeah.
To where you can really understand both, because if they're just sitting there throwing the same spell at each other or doing the same spells that we've seen, oh, Doctor Strange called a huge demon head, oh, he countered it with his little snake dragon thingies, it's okay, we've seen that before, and it's just this is just reusing the same old spells.
Well,
This was a new spell that we saw, and yes, it was they were using the same spell, but it was still our Doctor Strange had his characteristic of it, and then the other one had the other characteristic of it, and it was their way of showing the different characteristics of each spell while still kind of them thinking the same, because you got to remember, like Diego was saying, it's the same person fighting the same person. The only difference is one has the Darkhold and has been corrupted, but it's still he's gonna attack the same.
it's
The
literally
only
like
way he would have attacked
Ironmonger
different
versus
is
Iron Man. It's
if
that
he would have
trope.
used a different spell from the Darkhold, which obviously he wasn't using it, because the only weird thing I got from that scene is that Doctor Strange seemed to understand being bad, but wasn't trying to be good, which made me kind of wonder, like, is this the same Supreme Strange from What If, or is this supposed to be a different one? Just
I'm pretty
because,
sure it's
like,
a different one because it's
it,
definitely not the same one from the one from What If. I think it's the one that they implied from the other universe, like the one with the Illuminati in it.
no, that one's dead.
And that
Oh
one,
yeah,
had blue robes and shit.
The only reason I don't know if it's the What If one is because by the end of that What If episode, he seemed to understand why he should not have been doing what he was doing, and he like seemed to like want to fix it and make it better. But then again, he had the Darkhold. He was corrupted. The Darkhold has its own like thing. So like
I don't.
that's where it just got weird because I was like, some of the stuff he says, like for example, like Adrian was saying, as one of the big points of like, are you happy? He asked him, "Are you happy?" And it's like, why are you like giving me the vibe of like you want to help or you want to make sure he's not in a certain place before you give him the Darkhold, but also you seem so evil. Like, like I don't get it.
I mean, another thing I just wanted to say is that one, the reason why I don't think it's the same one from What If, because the same one from What If is also in charge of watching like the big battle between Ultron and Killmonger at the moment. So unless they wanted to ruin his character, I don't think. I think it's a completely different Supreme Strange.
Could be.
But
Like I said, I don't. It has to be a different one because the Supreme Strange at the end of the What If doesn't seem to be so bad anymore. He's just way more powerful than what he needs to be.
all right, well, anyways, point is, I feel like if they didn't do the music fight, it would have literally just been Ironmonger versus Iron Man, Black Panther versus Killmonger, like just the hero versus himself that everybody finds boring as shit and complains about. That's a way to make it
See,
it different and more entertaining than just, ooh, let me just shoot a beam of fucking a laser beam at you. You shoot a laser beam back. I punch you. You punch me harder. Or I don't know.
see, for this specific, for I know I see what you're saying, but since I don't know what other ideas they could have had to make the fight interesting. I just don't think that music notes was the way to go. For me, it didn't work for me. But
I understand because
I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it.
he could have used some like Darkhold shit, but
I mean, I'm not. I like if like there could have been other things in the room that they used. There's I don't know what else could have happened, but I just didn't like the music notes. That's all. That's all it is. I'm sorry,
how are you
but
a ex musician the one to be the odd man out about music? That's wild.
bro, I'm sorry. It was just a cheesy fight for me, man.
You're a bum. Anyways, let's move on.
All right. Well, I hope we all can agree on this because if we don't, I might just cry. But Doctor Strange, not only does he have new abilities and spells, he also got a new eye. A third eyeball right on his forehead
Oh yeah.
is revealed at the end of the movie. What do
I
y'all
Oh,
have
think about
such a
that,
big
Adam?
gripe
we're
about
skipping
this.
over so many things. What?
Oh, don't worry. This is just the Doctor Strange section, bro. Don't worry.
Okay.
I have a huge gripe with this, and I don't know if you guys are gonna have the same thing,
None of us like
but
it.
I gotta get it out.
None of us like it.
The only thing I don't like about it, like Doctor Strange warns him, there comes a price with the Darkhold, right? And by the end of the movie, you know, when they're still wrapping up the fight, and a little bit after the fight, when he's with Wong, Wong even says, like, "Are you feeling okay?" Because they're like, you're not supposed to just use the Darkhold and be okay. So you knew something was coming. Now, was I expecting the third eye thing? Nah.
Me
But
either,
like,
bro.
I'm gonna be
okay,
honest.
whatever, right? No, hold on.
Okay.
Whatever, right? He gets the eye. Like, okay, you know, but you end the movie with him walking out and then it being like chronic pain, and then the eye opens, and then you shut out the movie. And now, naturally, everyone knows there's a mid-credit scene. Like, we ain't stupid. It's a Marvel movie. It's been how many years? Like, come on now, we know. But then it just cuts back to him casually walking down the street as if nothing happened. And then and then she's like, "You created a freaking thing. We're gonna go fix this." And he's just like, "Yeah, okay. You were not okay like 30 seconds ago. Hold on, rewind."
I feel like there was like, given that there was a change of clothes, I feel like that was meant to imply that there was a time skip between those two things. Like, I know what you mean, because it is kind of jarring.
You can't just skip over that
But
and just
but hear me
skip.
out. Hear me out. Because there's a completely different character who we've never fucking seen before, and then she opens a thing to the dark dimension, and he doesn't bat a fucking eye. Clearly, there's a lot of shit that's happened in between now and then, you know what I mean? So, like, I understand where you're coming from, but just with that context, it's like, oh, we'll learn why Doctor Strange is just okay with Clea coming out of nowhere and whisking him off to the dark dimension in the next movie, or maybe in a different cut or after credit scene, or maybe it may be the plot of a future movie that just has something to do with Doctor Strange for like 2.5 seconds. Like,
see, but this is going to be my argument to that. Think of Attack on Titan for you. You were pissed that Mikasa and no. Hear me out. No,
give me 1 second.
Shut up.
Give me
Diego,
1 second.
No.
Let me say one
Let
thing.
me finish. No, let me finish
Bruh.
what I'm gonna say. You're
gonna say all of this, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're right. I'm just saying.
This could have been fixed by flip-flopping those two scenes. They could have ended the movie with her taking him away to the dark dimension, and then they could have done the scene of him walking out and getting the third eye after, to where it seems like she whisked him away, and then, if you want to say time skip, then he gets the dark eye, like, after helping her with whatever. Now, I know that means that, like, the big plot point is obviously, like, bro, they just went to Dormammu, like, or at least what I think is Dormammu, because that looked like Dormammu. They just went to Dormammu, and then they skipped to him, like, casually walking down the street. But, like, I need context of this eye thing, because, like, I don't know what the eye thing implies, because I don't know what comes with the eye. So to then see him walking down the street the same exact way, and then, like you said, not batting an eye, to being like, you created an incursion, we got to go fix it. It looks like it's Dormammu. Like, Dormammu was a huge fucking deal. Like, you don't just, oh yeah, okay, let's go. Like, I took it as they have to go and he has to free Dormammu and figure out a different way to, like, deal with him. But like I said, if that's just the dark dimension, that's how it looks, then I guess, like, it could be something different. But, like, you know, you don't got the time stone anymore, homie. You can't just put him in a time loop again. Like, and then you got the third eye thing to worry about. Like, is the third eye going to affect him in the dark dimension, since it derives from, like, dark power, and the dark hole derives from, like, dark power? Like, I need context to this eye thing, at least a little more.
Okay.
And then to add it on, that the ending scene was just, like, homie not punching himself anymore. Like, you could have thrown, like, maybe extra context at the end, and that, like, I get it, it was a funny, like, ending to the movie, but, like you said with Attack on Titan, I just need a little more context about this eye. Like, I can't with, like, the way it just casually jumped. And yeah, sure, there could have been a time jump, and the way he doesn't bat an eye is like, all right, bro, you must know something, because that's crazy. But also, what are we doing about this eye, man? Like, can you really just hide it? I mean, I know the other Doctor Strange hit it pretty well, and it didn't seem like it affected him. He just had his third eye open. But, like, bro, like, I can't get over that, man. Like, show us him fixing it or something.
All right. Are you done?
Something. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start off with you saying flip the shit. I think that that's worse, because if you, at the very end of the movie, you show Clea showing up out of fucking nowhere, we've never seen Doctor Strange associate with this character. Also, with the background knowledge of, if you're possibly a comic fan, knowing how big of a character that Clea is for him, not seeing them interact whatsoever for the goddamn, like, 8 years that he's been in this universe, that would have caused so much fucking outrage. And then
Is that love interest? Is that one of the three you're talking about?
Dormammu's daughter, love interest, future possible wife.
Wait, whose daughter?
Dormammu's daughter. Clea is Dormammu's daughter.
Hell nah. Oh hell nah. Get this bitch out of here.
Exactly. So that would have caused a bunch of outrage. People would have been confused as fuck. People would have been hella mad. And then you have the after credits scene being that supposed third eye thing that you're talking about. Then you have, oh, well, the next movie's plot doesn't matter because now, if it happens to do with Clea and Dormammu, we already know that he survives it and then gets a third eye. So then it just invalidates the whole plot of the third movie. There's no tension whatsoever, yada, yada, yada. My answer to this is what I was trying to give you when you wouldn't let me fucking speak. They should have put that after credit scene in a completely different movie. Put it after Quantumania. In the end credit scene for Quantumania.
Him getting the third eye?
No. Clea showing up and him, because then there's an actual time skip. There's literally, 8 months?
A sensible timeline.
No, I'm saying like real life. There's 8 months in, I think? I don't know when Quantumania comes out. I think it's next year. But anyways, my point is there's a literal time skip for us, the audience. So he gets the third eye. X amount of time comes by, we see Quantumania because the quantum realm's a bunch of fuck shit. It makes sense, you know what I mean? And then after credit scene for Ant-Man, Clea shows up, whisks Doctor Strange away. He still has the third eye. What the fuck's going on? Then there would be, obviously time has passed. He learns how to deal with it, whatever it is. And now I'm going to lend you some fucking my thoughts on the third eye, because I'm gonna be honest, that third eye threw me through a fucking loop.
I almost threw up.
Because turn into real life TN.
Because
don't try Buchanan.
Because I know that he has a third eye, but he gets it from the Eye of Agamotto, like how I know it. So for me, I was like, oh, he's had the Eye of Agamotto for this long. He's never getting that eye. And then out of nowhere, he gets the eye because of the Darkhold. So I have no idea what the fuck's going on with that eye. I know what the third eye gives him, at least from Agamotto, but with the Darkhold, I got no fucking clue. I just hope.
Wait, what's the Eye of Agamotto? Is that the necklace he wears?
Yeah.
The necklace that he wears gives him.
Maybe the Darkhold unlocked that power?
I don't know, because I don't know why the Darkhold would, because the Darkhold is revered as a super evil thing, and when the Eye of Agamotto gives him the third eye, it just helps him a bunch. It gives him the ability to see through magic, I think, and I forget what else, but it's just two really helpful things for him as a character to get around shit. So if the Darkhold gave him that, what's the drawback? You know what I mean?
Well, he was wearing the Eye of Agamotto, so I'm saying could it maybe just be
That's what I'm saying though, is because I don't know what the negative would be.
Well, could it maybe be that the Eye of Agamotto protected him from the negative by giving him the third eye?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, wasn't it mainly just a time stone for the Eye of Agamotto for the most part?
Well, no, the necklace does a bunch of shit, but also holds the time stone.
Oh, so
the necklace isn't just the time stone. The necklace itself is fucking great.
They called it that. Remember when he first
that's
gets
why
the necklace,
he still has it, even though he
no
no longer has the time stone, because it gives him shit.
Yeah. It's like the cape. It helps.
Yeah, it helps. It helps a lot more than the cape, but the cape's useful.
Yeah. Think Mordo has the little stick thing and the boots.
Yep.
Doctor Strange has the Eye of Agamotto and the cape.
Yeah.
And then is Mad OP.
Now, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and say to Javen, this is part of why I think you're a bum for the opinions you have with Doctor Strange powers, is because for years I've been telling you that he has crazy fucking powers. This is just me airing out my issues with you right now. Or with your opinion right now. I've been telling you for years that he's got some crazy shit in his arsenal. So the fact that you think that this is whatever your opinion was that I already forgot kind of has me a little upsetty spaghetti, because I've been hinting that he's got some weird shit that he's gonna do and continue doing.
Damn, I'm thirsty.
Go get some water, bro.
Look, bro. Yeah,
Mute
Brandon,
yourself
don't
and
worry,
go get some water.
When I've gotten accustomed to him doing the same to similar spells for 4 movies now, all right, you can't blame me for being a little shook when he learned some stuff off screen,
Okay.
and it's not even really addressed.
Okay.
And now, second of all, we ain't talking about this right now. We talking about his third eye.
All right, we'll talk about this after the podcast then.
Fine. Now, y'all some bums. We were just supposed to make fun of how ugly his third eye was and move on, but no, we're talking about after credits now. So, I want to get my piece out about this third eye. Why'd they give him a third eye, bro? That thing is so ugly, bro.
It
Like,
is.
See, and
It
like
is
they don't
very-
even.
that's
And
another
like y'all have
thing.
been saying,
Say what you're gonna say.
this is what y'all been saying. Like, we don't even know what the frick it's gonna be used for or why he got it. Like, it just don't even. It don't compute to me, bro.
That's why
Who
I'm saying.
decided that he should have a third eye?
That's why I'm
bro?
saying this thing would have benefited from a fucking extra 30 minutes because you could have used like 10 of those to I don't even know.
Do better VFX on his eye.
I feel like the visual effects for the eye is unavoidable, which is why I assumed they were just never gonna do it because you can't get an eye from either fucking side of your face and make it look like it's not coming from one side of the face. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah,
that
it's
very
just the
clearly
L,
looks
bro.
like it's an eye just ripped straight off of one of his fucking eye sockets and just put in the middle of his forehead. Like,
pretty much.
Does this thing want to make you vomit too, Adrian?
Yeah, it just
it's
looks ugly.
jarring.
Like,
It's so jarring for no reason.
Like I
Like-
don't know if I just need an eyebrow for it.
See,
Yeah,
for
maybe
Supreme
the eyebrow will make it look
Strange,
better.
for Supreme Strange, it's not that bad because you're like, he's evil, it's ugly, it correlates. But with Doctor Strange, if it's gonna be like a regular thing, they need to dump at least like $2 million into the CGI for that eye alone.
I'm
Like-
dead, bro.
Like
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying though, is that like I feel bad nitpicking it because I don't know how you fucking fix that. Like,
More money.
probably.
Either don't do it or do it right. That's the way I think of it.
All right, bro. Then tell that
Now,
to Sony.
We pretty
Sony catching
Bruh.
strays, bro.
now we're gonna have to do this way out of order because we've already dipped way too much into these after credits scenes. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Clea, you comic book nerds? We know she's the daughter of Dormammu.
See,
We know she's a Doctor Strange. Excuse me. We know she's a Doctor Strange love interest. But is there anything else we should know about her?
off the top of my head, as of right now, since I've been drinking a little bit, I can't really remember everything that I know about her. But I'm gonna feel like such a dick for doing this. I did cover a lot of what she does in a previous episode where we talked about Emma Watson possibly being her, but it's actually Charlize Theron. I don't think I said her name correctly.
You did.
Okay. Yeah, but it's actually Charlize Theron now instead of Emma Watson, which is fine. They're both great actresses. But yeah, she's Dormammu's daughter. She's an extremely important character for Doctor Strange, and eventually, in the comics at least, she becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. So there's a lot of potential with this character, which is why I'm kind of surprised that Charlize Theron is like being her, because I feel like Charlize Theron's got too much fucking shit going on with her. Because doesn't she do like 3 movies a year or something?
Not that I know
Oh.
of.
I have no idea about her.
She got kicked off of Mad Max because she didn't get along with Tom Hardy.
Oh, I thought Tom
so,
Hardy got kicked off.
I mean, I ain't the biggest Mad Max news
I don't pay
officiator, so maybe they
attention to
both
that. I
got
didn't even
caught
know
up.
they were making a Mad Max.
I thought that
or
no,
another
they're
one.
making like a prequel for her. I swear.
She got recast. It's Anya Taylor Johnson now for the next one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Okay, well, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
My point is like she's a pretty big actress, so the fact that they cast her for Clea, who's like a super important character, like I love Wong, don't get me wrong. So I'm sorry for the Wong slander, but like a million times more important than Wong. So I was just really like surprised. But yeah,
She's trying to get that MCU bread.
facts.
Do you
Speaking
have
of
anything you want to add about the
bread, sorry, what
what?
were you trying to say?
I was gonna ask Adrian, do you have anything you want to say about the first after credit scene?
I mean, I agree with Diego on against Brennan's point on placement. It would have been worse. And I thought about it too. It's like maybe it's just placement. They could have just done it like the second one first and the other one, the first one like second. And I'm like, nah. Then it just looks. It's gonna be weird. Like, how do
It's
you
just
explain that?
unavoidable. Like they should have put it in a separate movie. That's just my opinion.
I feel like it should have just left that as a cliffhanger. Like just him getting the eye. Something else. Maybe
Or
we see more with America Chavez.
or
Yeah.
actually I feel like,
Wanda's
dude,
alive, by the
I
way.
feel like for the second after credit scene, it's just weird seeing the eye. I feel like if the eye didn't pop up, it wouldn't have been so bad. I don't know.
It was just so casual. Like I don't like how casual
Yeah.
it was. Just like, oh yeah, I'm here, and I'm like, huh? Like, bro, last time we saw you, you were screaming your head off in the middle of the freaking street, just
Looking like he was
having an
possessed.
eye. Yeah, and all of a sudden you just casually open the eye. It looks like you just it's just so natural out of nowhere. I don't know. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, dude. And it's funny because I swear they're playing like the same cheery, upbeat music when he was walking both times before something happened. I'm like, why is he always just walking so happily, bro? And then something happened.
He found his pursuit of happiness.
Exactly,
Oh
bro.
man, bro. No way. All right, now this brings us to a little other after credits scene. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I mean, it was funny, but it wasn't worth waiting for. I'm not gonna lie.
Look,
You said a second opinion in the first. Yeah, no, you had a different opinion the first time you saw it. He's like, maybe it's well worth the wait.
Oh well, I mean,
hey man, he's
I
allowed
take
to
it
change his opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wanted
I
to,
take
I
it
was
back
just curious of why he changed it.
because I feel like okay. So, bro gets violated by Doctor Strange, right?
Well,
In the
actually,
movie.
hold up. Yeah, you did have a better opinion because you said that
Well,
this actually made the
hear me out.
payoff worth it. Or like the
Well,
payoff for
here's
the
thing,
joke.
right? Here's the thing, okay? Here's what I originally said to give the viewers context. I thought that the moment when Doctor Strange originally violated this guy and had him squirt mustard in his face, start punching himself in the face, I thought it was just really cheesy and out of place for this movie. I'm not gonna lie, you know. So when the after credit scene happens, it's kind of funny that it makes that moment earlier not as bad because there's a payoff for it. But I think now that I've been thinking about it, I feel like ultimately, if both were removed, it still would have been a better outcome because of two reasons. Number one, I don't sit through the movie thinking, "Oh man, that cheesy, stupid scene." I mean, I wasn't like hung up on it or anything, but like it took me out of the moment. All right, and then
Mhm.
so that doesn't happen to me, and then I don't have to sit through a bunch of credits. I mean, I was going to anyway, but it could have been something that was cool or something that hinted at another movie or something that was just not what it was, and the net positive would have just been better. That's all I'm saying.
Well, to Diego's point of the time skip thing, could it be used to show us how much time has passed between the end of the Doctor Strange movie and the end credit scene? Because if you during the movie she goes, "Is that going to go on forever?" and he goes,
3 weeks.
"No, it'll stop in about 3 weeks." So could we infer that almost a month has passed since the end of the Doctor Strange movie compared to when
See,
Dude, that's
See,
genius.
this
Yo.
is where I agree with what Adrian said of flipping them to where the second one was first and the first one was second. Because now,
Yes,
if
it's
you paid
perfect.
attention to the scene, 3 weeks is what that
Realistically, you're looking at.
is what you're looking at. So hypothetically, at the very least, it would be 3 weeks between him first getting the eye and Clea showing up.
Mhm.
Dude, that's actually perfect because in real time for us, it's like 5 minutes, and it's so bizarre, dude.
It's so bizarre.
I mean, he does change clothes between those. So
Yeah, but like,
you're supposed to
Ooh,
context.
changing clothes.
to be
I do
fair,
that every
you're
to
day.
supposed
play
take the
devil's
context of
Sometimes
advocate,
twice a
sometime
day.
has passed
yeah, but
since
to
that
be
happened.
to play devil's advocate, it's like we said 5 minutes later, and in all reality, you change clothes every day. It could be the next fucking day for all we know. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Or he goes
you really
home,
think he
or
just-
even worst case scenario, homie goes home, looks at the fucking forehead eye, and then figures something out with it, and then changes clothes and goes back out.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
mean,
dang, and I need some new colors to bring out the color in this eye. Hold on.
you really think he said in the middle of the street, goes back home. He said, "Wait a minute, fit idea, got a new fit."
Nah,
goes back and
you know what it
in the
is?
middle of the street.
It's-
No, you know what it is? It's
Adrian.
when you do something embarrassing in public and you're like, I'm going home. And then you're like, shit, I gotta go to the store. I'm changing clothes just in case so nobody fucking notices me.
Adrian, it's not the fact that you can't infer. It's so, for example, I'm gonna bring back what I said about like how Diego was with Attack on Titan, right? He was like, I need context to this because this can't just be water under the bridge, right? Now, the only reason why like I was okay with that episode is because I could make guesstimations, as in like I understand the context of what they're doing in Attack on Titan more than what I understand about that fucking eye.
Yeah.
Like I have no clue what that eye infers. So for you to throw me into him getting third eye and me, like, dude, that's a big deal.
Yeah, that
that's
is a
not
big
like
deal.
that's not like oh, he found a new spell and like used it and it like, oh haha, there was some backfire. No, this is like, bro, you have a whole ass eye in the middle of your forehead that we're assuming is from the Darkhold. That's a big deal. So, but then to like, for us, 5 minutes later, we're expecting something to like, we're expecting to see him like on a table with Wong like over him, like doing a spell to the eye or something. And no, we get him casually walking down the street, going to deal with some other issue as if the eye thing never fucking happened.
Not to mention in the dark
Oh.
dimension, which was like
Yeah,
the
which it's
whole
gonna
plot of the first movie.
Yeah, and like, and to my point, which I don't know if it really has anything to do, but the dark dimension is dark magic. The Darkhold is dark magic. The third eye is supposed to be inferred that it came from the Darkhold. What's gonna happen to him in the dark dimension if he has this third eye on him that derives from dark magic? And you're going into somewhere where dark magic is like it, like. If you can use dark magic, you're extra strong in this dimension. That's like that's such a big deal, and you can't just gloss over it. Like you
I'm
said,
not really
maybe
glossing over it. I'm just saying, like, there's just time that's passed. I'm not really defending it and saying it's good, but like,
I need more than time passing though.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that's my point.
like an explanation is better. I know, like,
Yeah.
you just need an explanation for it.
And like Diego said, and you said like if you put in the that's it, it's over thing, because then you can infer. Like if if you think about the context, this would be something you have to think about. But okay, so that means from the point at which that happened, 3 weeks has gone by, which means he's had at least minimum two weeks, right? Because we could say maybe to get from where
Oh yeah, it could have
he
taken
made
like
the
a
dude
week
punch
for the
himself
fucking thing to come in.
well, it could have taken a week for the movie to get to the ending, right?
Yeah.
To where he's saying bye to America Chavez, right? We can say that took a week. So that means when he's walking out of the house, it's been a week. since he made the dude punch himself in the face, right? Because that's the start time, is when the dude starts punching himself in the face. So let's say a week has gone by, and that's when he gets the eye. That means he has that whole second week and the third week to figure something out, and then homegirl comes in like, hey, we gotta go fix this. It's like, okay, so like we're aware that a lot, like at least 2 weeks of time, because right now that eye could have happened, and then like months later, she came. It could have, like we said, it could have been a day, it could have been 2 days, it could have been 3 days. All we know is he was walking down the street, he got an eye, and then he was walking down the street, and some chick just came and was like, hey, we got to go fix this problem that you caused. Sorry about it, but let's go. We don't know how much time. We have no context to what the eye is. We don't know how long it should take to fix the eye. We don't know if the eye is a bad thing. It could be a good thing. Who knows?
Yeah,
It's just
I
like,
fully agree with your statement because, like, I was hella bent out of shape about that Attack on Titan thing. For context, for people who don't know, it was the one episode where it ends with we have basically Jean's perspective, and then the Eldians and the Marlians start working together. But like you can infer all of like everything. You're like, oh well, it could be this, and this, and this happened. But like you said, Brennan, we have no idea what the fuck, like how he just went from screaming in the middle of the street to just being fine.
I need context.
Yeah, there's hella context that needs to be had. But yeah, Yavon, what's the next thing on the list? Or did you give your opinion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So unintentionally, we already talked about all the after credit stuff. So this was not planned.
Yeah, this was not
planned. Disjointedly. How do you guys feel about America Chavez? Okay. What do you guys think about her powers? I think visually her powers are like really cool.
All right. One thing I want to say. This movie got banned in Saudi Arabia because of her. Her
gay parents.
Yeah.
That's why.
Like,
wow.
Well, here's the thing though. Is like, I'm mad as hell given the context, because really you could just, since they have to translate to Arabic for Saudi Arabia, just translate it to their fucking sisters. My mom and my aunt. That's all that you have to say. And then it doesn't need to be banned in Saudi Arabia anymore. Like, I know that they're banning it because she's a gay character, but like, who the fuck cares? Like, honestly. Like, it's not like
clearly
it's not like his mom or her mom's kissed or anything. Like, it's not that deep. But that's not about her character. I just wanted to get that out there because I fucking hate that shit.
Hating.
Hey, I had no idea about it, so you bring in awareness.
They like banned
no idea.
Yeah, they dead ass banned this movie because of America Chavez, or like they were saying the reason was America Chavez, because she's a lesbian character in the comics. So
interesting.
Inclusivity, bruh, it's important. I was about to.
Well, speaking on America Chavez,
I'm
gonna be honest, I ain't give a shit about her character. She pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie,
bruh.
Yeah,
what?
I mean, I don't feel that strongly about it.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, it's not that I hated her, but like I was just like, you're so utterly useless, but useful at the same time, because when you get scared, you always get everyone out of the situation. Like, like when Wanda's first about to get her, like she's the reason they get away. So obviously, like, that's good. But I just hate how like her character full circle comes to the cliche of, sweetie, you can do it. Like, you've been doing it the whole time. Like, think every time you've used your power, we've gone like where we needed to go. Like, it was just, why couldn't we have him like slowly training her through the couple days, and her like slowly gaining control? But like, my point is like, the whole time you're getting you like she has her hand held throughout the entire movie, and then the ending one is and like the big part where she's supposed to be like the hero and understand her power, she gets the cliche, like, in my opinion, very corny, cringy, just believe in yourself talk, and then she still kind of gets dog walked.
Bro, because
I get it. Wanda is like this all powerful. Like, I get it. Wanda's strong.
dog,
She got 2 licks in, and then was just like, damn, you right. I can't beat you. So here, just have your kids. Like, all right, bro.
what? That's
Bro,
how you're
it was
justifying that? That's fucking wild.
justifying what? The fact that, like, bro, there, like,
She saw that she
I'm sorry.
couldn't beat Wanda, so she's like, here, what's something that may actually calm her down? Let me show her kids. Let me show her that she's being a fucking monster.
But, like, my point is, give her a little more than just, like, she got 2 punches in, and then, like, I get it, she's young, she doesn't have a good grip on her powers yet, so it's like, we can't give her too much, but, like, I just, bro, I can't, like, give us a training thing so that by the end of the movie, she can do a little more than what she, like, realistically did,
What?
and just, like, give us a little more. She was, the whole time, was just, like, a pain in the ass, and then was a
You're
crybaby, and then
fucking wild.
freaking, dude, it's just, like, seriously, like, she's supposed to be a big prominent character, right? And I get she's young now, but, like, let's think about Captain Marvel.
Yo,
You get the vibe that she's mad overpowered the entire time, and then you learn that her powers are being hindered, and then you're like, okay, wow, this bitch is really overpowered. I'm not asking for that much. Don't make her seem
first of
overpowered.
all, no,
And, like,
hold
I get
on.
it.
Stop
She's
right there.
strong. She can hop between universes, but, like, I just, like, I needed more.
Dog.
Like, she just was like a pain in the ass the entire movie.
Bro,
Like,
I need
that's it.
I need you to stop right there. You're choosing Captain Marvel, a character who has been using her powers for an unspecified amount of time before the movie even fucking began. You're choosing that character to use as a correlation between somebody who is trying to figure out her powers. She is literally Doctor Strange in the first 2 weeks that he was trying to figure out how to use his powers. He was fucking useless. Almost froze to death from hypothermia trying to get off of Mount Everest. Like, I understand what you're trying to say, but she doesn't know how to use her powers, so I like it just baffles me that you're being this hard
But-
on a character who literally
No,
has
but
no
that's my
idea what the fuck
point.
they're doing.
But my point is, by the end of the movie, she's fully aware of how to use her powers, right? And the thing is, the whole way that she figures out how to use her power is the cringiest little speech from Doctor Strange of saying, basically, just believe in yourself.
Look,
You can do it.
that part I'll
And
give
that
you.
to me is
That
the
part I'll
problem,
give you.
because all they
Yeah.
needed to do is, in those little scenes where her and him are walking and talking, like, it's Doctor Strange, you would also assume that, like, for example, when he's like, even I could have, and he sees that she reacts kind of like timidly towards that because the other Strange was about to just take her powers. Dude, I'm sorry. I would have been like, let's get an understanding of what you can, like, tell me exactly what you know you can do. What happens in that? Okay, so you're scared. You then go to a place. By the end of the movie, it's like he knows that, like, she helps him. Like, train her a little bit and help her figure out her powers
Dog,
throughout
that's what
the
he
movie.
was trying to
so that-
do. He was trying to do that, which is why he went to Wanda. He had no time to try to teach her anything because Wanda was on his ass from the moment that he tried to start teaching her. From the moment that he tried to start teaching her.
The second they hit that other universe and he's like, oh, she could dream walk, right? They
I
had a
still
good
don't think they
amount.
I don't think they still had enough time because Doctor Strange is like trying to find like a safe place for that, or
It's just,
trying to find another Doctor Strange.
well, then there you
like-
go. There's the extra 30 minutes they could have added in. A fucking training montage.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Brennan, but the thing is there's no place for a training montage to happen. He tries to go to Wanda to try to get her help to train her fucking powers. Wanda starts coming after them. All that he knows to do is go back to Carmitage and try to fucking keep her safe. Immediately they get transported into another dimension. Let me try to find somewhere safe. Let's go to the old or to this universe's Sanctum Sanctorum, and then we run into Baron Mordo. He fucking poisons the both of them. There was no time in this entire fucking movie for there to be a training arc for America. I understand what you're trying to say, and like I get it. The way that she finally learns how to like use her powers is cringy as fuck. Like I get it. That's fine. But you're being so hard on her throughout the entire movie when there's literally no space for her to learn how to use her powers.
If you're gonna tell me all you have to do to get her to understand her powers is talk no jutsu your way through it, then there should have been moments where he was talking to her and getting her to. So that's it. Like her punch thing in the glass, right? That was like the only type of symbolism that they've shown that like she's kind of understanding a little bit when she goes to punch the glass to try to escape from Wanda in the Illuminati place, right? That's the one place you get to see that she like I don't want to say understands, but like it's almost like she could figure out how to understand how to use her power, I guess would be the right way to word that.
I mean, like, Loki in the beginning she did too when she like stepped on like she's on top of the building, she like stepped a little bit too much.
Yeah, but like
and that
all
show,
of those
right?
triggers was because of her being terrified. So like
and like and the first one where she stomps is more of like she was trying to help Doctor Strange. I wouldn't say she was definitely scared, but like
if you got a giant tentacle monster coming after you, you're telling me you ain't gonna be scared.
But like for her, she felt like the only time I really is like when I'm really, really scared.
Yeah.
Like near death. But like my point is like have Doctor Strange talking her through some things like when they're walking down the street and stuff, like start the motivation earlier than just plopping it all kind of like at the end. Like if you're not gonna do like have him kind of picking her brain and kind of giving her like motivation to help herself throughout the movie so that at the end of the movie it's not just one big dump of you can do it, sweetie, just believe in yourself. Like, like that scene where she punches the glass is a good thing because she like you see her look at her hand and go like, oh shit, like I did something, right? But that wasn't like we should have had Doctor Strange kind of like for example in the tunnel thing, he should have been telling her like, I need you to focus. Like if something were to go wrong, I need you to know that you can get yourself out of there. I need you to know that you can open a portal and you need to leave us, right? Like kind of like not specifically saying like just believe in yourself, you can do it, but like giving her the motivation to understand that like if shit hits the fan, you're strong enough to go off alone. You've done it before. That's how you got to my universe is yes, you did it by accident and you feel like you did it because you were scared, but you can do it. You have the ability to get yourself out of situations. I need you to do that if things were to go wrong, right? Like just those little things of like feeding her the little motivation things to where then at the end, she doesn't have the anime callback to all the times where he was being motivational, but like the motivational speech kind of makes a little more sense because he's been feeding it to her the whole time, slowly giving her that self-motivation and that self-confidence to just make her kind of not 100% useless, but like to make her like the damsel in distress. And then at the end of the movie, just give the whole, just believe in yourself and you can do anything type of spiel for her to be able to control her power. It's like, just give that little extra effort and it would have been better. To me, personally, that's how I see it. Like, build up to it instead of, I'll just dump all of it now.
Yeah.
Just for it to be like a believe in yourself type of problem. At least like if it's gonna be talk, let the talk go throughout the movie. Not, it's the last 5 minutes. We need something self-motivation, bro.
See, and that's fine. That's
man,
fine.
come on.
But you just saying the training arc thing, nah. I'm not letting you live with that one.
I'd still be happy with that.
Nah, I don't think
Allow me to offer. So Adrian, you don't think that there should have been any attempt at training her at all either?
No, there's literally no time.
Thank you.
All right, let me, because I'm let me, okay. I think that
All
this
right.
is where some extra time could actually be spent, and let me give my perfect example, okay. Hypothetically, she could have sent them to any universe. So it could have been a universe that was either like
Oh my!
super
I already know where you're
underdeveloped
going with this.
or maybe apocalyptic. Doctor Strange is like, I can't properly protect you here. They don't have. There's no big hitters here. There's no other Doctor Strange here. There's no proper technology here. We have to go. And this doesn't just solve the issue of they train her a little bit and then look, boom, they get her. She's able to get them to a more civilized place where there's actually a group of heroes, aka what universe is that number again with the Illuminati?
838.
838. After that, she's able to generally, do better than just I can't control it at all. And on top of that, something else that I had a problem with was her and Doctor Strange's relationship in the movie just was borderline non-existent for me. Like they were
Yeah, I agree with
basically
that.
strangers to each other, and have had they spend time with each other, where he's like, whether they're getting into disagreements about her powers or whatever it is, at least they're developing together. They're having time together. So, and I don't care. Make him her father figure because she don't got parents. In the last one, the last Doctor Strange betrayed her anyway. So I don't just do it. I don't care, man. At least give me some connection between the two of them, and then that makes that then also not only fixes Brennan's complaint that she's just useless in the way. It not only fixes the complaint that I have, which is their relationship is pretty lackluster, it then completely raises the stakes on a personal level for Doctor Strange because now he really can if they spend this extra time together, he may grow to become extremely fond of America. So therefore he no longer wants to take her powers and he really wants to protect her from Wanda. Not just to save the world, but for his personal reasons, he cares about her a lot. I think that would solve all of those issues. That doesn't have to be that exact example I use, no, but if they can find a way to have them spend more time together, like a training thing or like whatever, I think I would have ended up liking America and Steven's relationship a lot more in the movie.
The most you get for them is like the memory thing. That's like the
Yeah.
deepest level of connection they get to each other, seeing each other's like one memory.
Yeah, that 2-minute scene.
Yeah, that's yeah. That's what I mean. That like for me personally, I would have used the 30 minutes for something else, but we'll talk about that.
I would have used
Okay,
it
fine.
for developing
We'll
their
use an
characters,
hour.
but not a training arc.
Yeah,
That's
make it a
just
3-hour movie.
I don't
I'm
think a
not fine.
training.
I'm fine with
I
that.
just don't think a training arc could just be reasonable, just because how on their ass Wanda
That's
is.
what I
You have to
mean. Like
really
without
extend
adding more
like
time, there is no place for a training arc. It's
unless
already
you wanted to
fast paced as it
say.
is. You want to speed it up more by giving this bitch a training arc? Really?
Look,
I would
I
argue
don't
that slows
unless
it
you want to
down.
say it's
Bro,
just like I don't
hold on,
think
Brennan.
Wanda would be
You're
slow
telling
enough for
me
that to
inserting a
happen.
training arc in this movie where you have to cut time from other shit would make it slower?
Yeah.
Huh?
It would slow down the feeling of Wanda being quote unquote on their ass. Cause if like let's say you go with how Jay said and it's like apocalyptic or whatever, they could just be stuck there. And like if it's like let's say it's a universe where like almost everyone's dead and like there's no Strange, the Wanda is dead in that universe. You then have 15 minutes to play around where Doctor Strange is like, yes, we're safe on this island or this universe, but this universe is also like fucking nothing. So like we can't just stay here. But
yeah,
this is a
we have to
good
get back to
time.
wall.
This is a good time to be able to at least get you to understand your power to jump universes to where then you get the sense of like he said, you get the 15 minutes of them kind of creating a bond. She gets to figure out how to at least open portals to another universe that she can kind of control. and then they have to hop back into a universe where Wanda is, and then that whole time you have the spectacle of Wong is getting forced to take her to thing to the what's it called, to the place where the inscribed walls
Mountain.
are. You get, and then you could maybe have a little bit more of a fight scene between Wong and Wanda, because I'm sorry, Wong is Sorcerer Supreme. No, he's not on Strange's level, but he shouldn't just be getting like immediately tossed like that. And then
I'm
also,
sorry, but yes, he should, because he's not.
and then anyways, also
He's just gonna say
you,
anyways.
yeah, because I'm sick of hearing all this dumbass shit. Like, give Wong some credit. He is Sorcerer Supreme.
Okay,
like, he's not.
dog.
He's not dirt.
Dog, he
freaking
is
weak.
Sorcerer Supreme only because Doctor Strange disappeared for 5 years. He's not Sorcerer
Okay, but
Supreme.
that-
But look, again, I'm sorry for the Wong slander. He's not Sorcerer Supreme because he deserves it. He's Sorcerer Supreme because there was nobody else.
It's like why Mortal
That's
was
still in
Sorcerer Supreme
that
other universe
with,
too.
but with
Dog, if you're the
his
only person in a
knowledge-
fucking royal family, just because you're king does not mean that you fucking deserve to be king when there was a bunch of other people before you who died that would have been a better fucking king and deserved to be king more.
as Sorcerer Supreme, with the information you hold now, you are automatically deemed stronger than most sorcerers. So at the least, he is second to Doctor Strange.
Yes,
At the least.
but that doesn't mean that he's on the
And-
same level as Doctor Strange. And even Doctor
And-
Strange was getting dog walked by Wanda.
And he knew the information of where to find certain things that are off limits. So that means he also should know spells that are stronger, that are, I guess you're technically not supposed to use them, but like, you know, as Sorcerer Supreme, you should be able to use some spells that technically aren't supposed to be used if it's for the good. But I digress. Either way, like, she literally didn't even like use a spell to knock him off. She literally just like essentially flicked him off the mountain. To have them have like at least a little scuffle where he's throwing spells at her and she's like, even if she's just like kind of whisking away the spell, but to show that he has like an arsenal, he's not just like someone who conjures a knife and can cut things. You know what I mean? Thing. And then, like I said, it's just to, like, it's literally just a filler to fill in a little bit of time while Doctor Strange and America Chavez are, you know, we're calling it a training arc, but just getting a hold of her powers. Like, I'm not saying have a full on freaking Doctor Strange, Supreme Strange like fight scene where they're going back and forth, but like, you know, have him like almost like she's playing with them, like letting him think he has a chance, where he's throwing like decently heavy hitting spells at her, or at least what's considered heavy hitting to him. You know, what he like is like, these are my like top spells in my arsenal, and she's kind of like blocking them, and then is like, you know, shoots him with some kind of beam off the edge of the mountain. Not where she's just like, yeah, you're a pest, and just kind of forces him off. I get that she's all powerful, but like just a little filler fight. They get the training, because I mean, between the time that it took for the Illuminati and for her to officially get into that universe, there was time, you know, in between, and of course they use that to set up that universe and stuff. But you know, you add in 30 minutes, throw 15 minutes into a training arc, and then 15 minutes into another scene that you could have maybe made a little longer, a little better. I won't name scenes that I think should have gotten at least a couple extra minutes, but
Here's what's crazy
like,
to me is originally you said don't add any time and add a training arc, and now you're talking about adding time. You fucking hypocrite.
no, in my beginning thing, I said fine. That 30 minutes y'all were talking about, boom, throw a freaking training
Wow.
arc. I'm saying, like, it would have benefited, like Javen was saying, to have that extra time of them spending together, where it's just them two talking, even if it's just like they have a heart talk. You know, like, it just like, it would have helped.
Honestly,
It would have helped because
honestly, that quote unquote training arc could have doubled as that too, to be honest. So all that they
Yeah.
needed to do was just
Exactly.
add
I would
15
have just
minutes
liked
to
it as
that.
a character
you know,
moment.
and that 15
not
minutes
like
would
a
have been
training
well
arc.
spent.
Bro, we derailed so hard.
We did.
I'm gonna just bring it back to what the original question was, which was what was our opinions on America Chavez. You clearly did not like her.
I didn't not like her. I just don't like how they made her the damsel in distress the entire movie. That
That's
was
not
just
that
annoying.
trope, though. That's just a kid who doesn't know how to fucking defend themselves.
Damsel in distress.
Whoa.
A damsel implies that she's a love interest. That's not.
Whoa.
That's not the case.
Let's calm down. We know what he meant, all right.
Okay. Anyways.
The person who needs to be handheld the entire movie.
Okay.
For better wording, if you don't like damsel in distress.
I'm sick of you. Javen, what did you think of her?
Oh, I mean, I thought I already said. I thought that
I
she
don't
was.
remember.
Well, okay. I guess I'll reiterate. I thought that she was a little other than her powers. I thought that she was lackluster because there wasn't enough time between her and Strange to have, just with her in general, for me to really care much about her. I mean, her powers are really dope though. I gotta like visually, the star going into things is fire, but overall, like I just didn't feel. I don't really care about her.
Oh my god. I know why it all worked. I'm so mad I just thought of this. I'm pissed.
Bro's about to spend another 10 minutes.
No, the reason
Hold
the
on,
whole
let me finish real quick though.
Yeah. You go.
The last thing I just want to say though is about that cheesy pep talk. Even though it is like literally so cheesy, and yeah, it's dumb that then all of a sudden she can use her powers. It does make sense a little bit because she's basically gone her whole life without anyone believing in her. So, he tells her he believes in her and then she gets her little boost. But yeah, it's still cheesy, but at least there's that. So those are my thoughts on America Chavez. All right, go ahead, Brennan.
Bro, it all works. You know why? You know why the whole thing between her and R. Strange doesn't fucking matter? Because in the beginning of the movie, you feel the connection she has
was literally
between
gonna
her
say
Doctor
that.
Strange, and technically the words are delivered to her through the face of her Doctor Strange, the one that she was being trained by and was quote unquote her protector.
Thank you for saying that
So,
for me, because I was literally about to say now that y'all motherfuckers want to talk about how there's no relationship. The no relationship is just from his POV, because from her POV, this is the same motherfucker that she spent an unspecified amount of time with. That could be days, that could be weeks, that could be months, that could be, like there could be hella chemistry between her and her Doctor Strange. But I think that's also what Steven understood, which is why he was so protective of her. That's just my take on them too. But yeah, what you were saying, Brennan.
Yeah, that clicked for me just now, but it's still not enough for me.
I
like,
understand.
He was on before,
I'm not defending that because I agree. I think there should have been more more conversations between the both of them. But as I said, the movie needed to be longer anyways. So
yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Movie needed to be longer. Is there anything specific you want to say about America, Adrian?
I mean, I'll just be saying the same points y'all are saying. Like, her and Doctor Strange didn't really have the connection that should have been there in the movie, and that could just be because of the pacing of the movie and how like Wanda being the big bad she was in this movie.
it
felt like there was no way to like Mommy Maximoff was going crazy.
All right, bro.
But she was literally just on her ass. Like if she was still just sending the demons, I could understand.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that herself, she's like, fine, I'll do it myself in a Thanos-like manner. Yeah, it's like I don't know. There's not many people in the MCU currently that can like just stop Wanda just like that. Unless you want to bring back Thanos, but I don't even think current.
Thanos gets dog walked by.
I was gonna say, Thanos would just get dog walked. Like
he almost got dog walked by Wanda.
No, he did get dog walked. Thanos had to fucking
He had to bring out
Bomb.
he had to like clear his
Yeah.
entire army because of it. He's like, yo, bring out the artillery. This bitch is crazy.
Yeah, he said I'm getting dog
Fine,
walked
don't
right
do it
now.
yourself.
He said she told me, you made me lose everything. I'm like, I don't even know this bitch. What the
And
fuck?
she said, "You will."
He said, never mind, don't do it yourself, guys. Run.
But yeah, other than like her just not being her and Doctor Strange relationship being non-existent, I just wish any other time that she comes again in any form of the MCU, she actually becomes more of a character because her debut just wasn't it for me.
Oh, she gonna come back with Doctor Strange powers, bro. Don't worry.
That's crazy. I'm
She
the only
better.
one here who like didn't mind her.
Damn, bro. Sorry.
That's fine.
But hey, Adrian, since we all got to talk before you on this last one, I'm gonna ask you this question first.
All right.
Are you excited for America in the MCU in the future as like what would she be in the Young Avengers? Or
She
are you
most
just kind of
likely be in
indifferent to
like
it
the
right now?
Young Avengers group, but I want to say I'm excited, but like I'm not saying her showing her debut scares me. I just want her to feel more of a character other than just like a plot point. Because all she
Gotcha.
is
Makes
like
sense.
a plot point. I ain't gonna lie, she's not gonna be an amazing character. Like I don't expect her to be a 10 out of 10 character like motherfucking Moon Knight, but like I don't. I want her to be something more like someone who can I can actually find interest and be invested in, other than you learn the power to travel through the multiverse. That's cool, but if you're just blatantly boring, I kind of just don't care. And she wasn't
Yeah,
really
that makes sense.
boring, but I just as nothing more comes out of her for character development wise, I'm not gonna like it.
Gotcha. Does anyone else have any other opinions they want to give about her future in the MCU?
I better see her find her damn moms.
True.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Facts.
Hey, that would probably be cool character development for her. I ain't gonna lie.
My thing is like that's how I wish they would have ended the movie, like for her character specifically.
Yeah, it was her
Like her
finding
kind of
her
going
moms.
off to, or at least like traveling to, because it's like, bro, you were whining about your damn moms the entire movie, and then you finally learn how to travel between dimensions, and your first thought isn't, let me see if Stephen Strange is right and my moms are out there. It's, I can make sparks. Bruh. Go find your damn moms. Go find your damn moms.
I didn't even think of that, bro. I didn't even think of that.
I mean, to be
Look.
fair, I think she's like using that to like potentially learn more about her own power.
Yeah, I was gonna
So
say
that's
like I took it as she's staying there to learn more about her powers and like to gain more confidence in her powers, because just because she learned how to use it doesn't mean that she's gonna go fucking jumping across dimensions to dangerous ass shit. I mean, you really think that she gonna try to fight dinosaurs? Hell nah.
Wait, so my question, Diego, is she supposed to get like wizard powers?
I
Because you
have
said she can
no
fly,
fucking
she's
clue.
super strong and can travel,
I
but
know next.
you know, she's out here making
I know
sparks.
next
She
to
sound like
nothing
Ned.
about this character. I know who she is because Marvel's been pushing her hella hard for the last couple years, ever since they created her back in like 2016, I think. Like, I just know of her. Like, I have no fucking clue about any kind of storyline for this chick. I just think that her powers are cool, and like the whole like I just think her character is cool and her character design is cool. That's literally it.
You can cut this out because it's just, do you guys know what the star thing is about? Like why it's specifically a star?
Her name is America. Star. America. America flag.
It's fucking lame. But all right, I'll accept it.
That's just me
It's
making
like
assumptions. I don't know.
I mean I think it's an it's like a entendre because it really doesn't make sense that her name, like it's a coincidence really that her name is America and that she makes stars, because I mean she's from a completely different universe. We don't even know if America exists there. So I think it's just a weird coincidence.
Well, yeah, and like you see on
I
her
was just
moms
curious.
that they both have stars. So I don't know.
Maybe it's her race thing, like whatever like race they are. They're not human.
Yes, they are. She is human.
Oh,
She is a
to
human.
be honest,
I said this last
as like a
night.
different.
It's just a different universe, and that's just the outfits that they wore. I don't know, but she's human. Unless they're doing
Bro
something
says
different
he's
for
an
the
alien.
MCU, I know for sure that she's not an alien.
That's funny.
I regret asking this question. Move on.
Every
All right, so
if
that
there
wraps
is
up-
a Marvel fan who's read comics about her in here, they're gonna be like, "You're stupid as
They're gonna be
fuck for
fucking
asking that question."
Bro, just cut it. Just cut
Probably.
it, okay?
I'm just like I was hoping there was a sound
See,
explanation.
when you said
but if she really just a
no,
human
when
and
you
just,
said
like,
something
dumb
about an
shit, I would be
alien,
mad.
I dead ass was like, "Dog, I said this last night," and I was like, "Oh wait, you weren't there." Because I think Javen
I
said the
wasn't there,
same
and
thing.
I thought they
Right.
said
I don't
she
remember.
wasn't human, but maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No, it was
It-
never in the movie did they mention that she wasn't human or say anything about her being human or not human.
All right, look, we're moving on. This part's getting cut anyway.
That's
All
fair.
right, that wraps up the new character, America Chavez. Now, we talked about Wanda a lot earlier, but I think cause Wanda is such a huge role in this movie. I think she deserves a little more
Dog,
conversation.
literally
So,
every
people,
conversation so far has been involving Wanda.
that is valid.
Yes.
All right, well then
We
I'll
can still,
bring
Ian.
I'll
no,
bring in some new thought-provoking things that I'd like to say about Wanda. So, this is actually my biggest gripe with the movie, believe it or not.
What?
Uh-oh.
It's Wanda.
What?
You heard
Oh
me.
god.
I feel like, no, okay, hear me out, all right? I feel like they really, really, really wanted Wanda to be as evil as possible. And I don't think it really works with the Wanda that we know from the MCU, especially after WandaVision. And
See,
on top of that,
here's the thing. I'm not even gonna let you
here's the thing, it
continue.
happened.
I'm not even gonna let you continue.
Go
The
ahead.
dark
Go
hold.
ahead.
I understand what
see
you
in
mean.
that most majority that or sorry, words. The majority of that happens off screen.
I know. But like
That's lousy as hell.
not really, because you get all of those implications that that's going to happen from WandaVision. Especially when
Okay.
they end off the movie or the season with her just fucking like doing some demonic ass corrupted or what's it called? Possession, like head twitching while she's trying to find her fucking kids in the end of the end credit scene for WandaVision. Like I feel like I know what you mean, but like they were kind of just like, hey, yeah, Wanda's probably gonna end up evil. That's not even me. My mom straight up asked me, and she's got no comic knowledge whatsoever. She asks me, is Wanda gonna end up evil? Because like that scene made me really uncomfortable, and I'm like, maybe.
See,
See,
I see. No, wait. I still have to respond to this because I know. I saw the scene at the end of WandaVision. I can agree. It implies she could be turning evil, but for me, her goals in this movie don't even feel like. Yes, it aligns with WandaVision, but at the same time, it doesn't. Because
Explain.
in WandaVision, it isn't just about her kids; it's about her family. But nowhere in this, and it frustrates me
Oh
so
yeah,
much
she doesn't even
because
mention Vision.
like she does mention him, but like he's like not part of the plan or anything. It's like only about her kids when WandaVision was all about her family. And so it makes me feel like I watched WandaVision, but like WandaVision wasn't fully taken into consideration while making this movie. Like I don't know, it just felt it felt so disjointed for
I
me.
see what you
Like why would
mean,
it
but from like I totally get what you mean. Don't get me wrong, but also at the end of WandaVision, she at least what I took it, she kind of had closure with Vision, and she just wanted the fucking kids. She just wanted Billy and Tommy, and she didn't care about anything else. And when you have the Darkhold, which obviously we have no idea about anything about the Darkhold except for that it's corrupting, when all you're thinking about is one, like, it's like when you hyperfixate on something, hyperfixation can turn toxic. That's exactly what happened. Is she was hyperfixated on finding her kids, and she had the Darkhold, which corrupts her, so she just became fucking psychotic.
See, but like you can't like hear me out though. Hear me out. Like, do you think that it would have been more exciting though had she tried to steal like the kids and Vision from a happy, WandaVision family? Like it would have tied in so much better with WandaVision, in my
It
opinion.
would have, but I feel like the reason why they nixed Vision is because you kind of can't
Let's
kill.
just face it, the budget was too big.
Well, hold on. Let me say what I'm saying.
Wait, what's that, Brandon?
He said that the budget wasn't big enough. But
yeah, okay. I'm sure they could have done whatever they
but
wanted.
here, what I'm saying is, like, I think the reason why they nixed Vision from the plot completely is because Vision would be able to tell that that's not his Wanda. Point blank, period.
But that's what adds the like that scene where she like sees herself become a monster could have hit so much harder if Vision was there, like protecting the kids and willing to like
Okay, but
essentially
Fact.
kill her.
okay,
Like
Fact.
that would have hit a lot more.
okay, but when she dreamwalks and goes into the 838 Wanda, Vision would have stopped her or tried to stop her, which means that whole Illuminati thing never would have happened. Which means that
No, it still would have happened because she would have dog walked Vision.
no, she wouldn't
But
have.
that would have been
And if she did, it would have made her more fucking crazy and more violent.
But that's the thing. See, but then that would have added on to the feeling of the stakes of her really going off the deep end, but also that could have triggered the start of the like doubt. Like she could have killed Vision and looked down and like felt that remorse, but then like could have pushed on because it's like, well, I'll still have my kids, and then went to the Illuminati, right? Like they could have had that scene, which that would have kind of like that would have definitely hit more. And my thing is like, to Jay's point, you could like how you said like she had the closure with Vision. Clearly, it wasn't enough because she still brought it up in this movie. I forgot exactly what she said, but she does mention like I had to put a hole in like the one person I cared about. So don't come to me and act like you understand what I'm going through or whatever. So it's like it's still a prominent thing that she thinks about and that she still cares for
Yes.
Vision. So it is kind of weird that like he wasn't in any of the thought like process behind any of it. Like
Okay,
she could have at least said like, "Oh, I searched for every universe to try to find Vision and my kids, but in every universe Vision had to die for Thanos to be beaten." Like to even just add in the fact that she was still thinking about trying to get him, but she saw that there is no universe where he's still alive, still would have been better than to not mention him at all.
okay.
Other than saying that you whacked his ass, but
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's backtrack because you took where I was trying to go and just fucking kept on running. Another thing is 838, good Ultron. Vision doesn't happen without bad Ultron. There was no bad Ultron, so Vision didn't happen in 838, which is why he wasn't in that universe. And
Well, that's fine. I'm not look. I'll let you finish. I'm sorry, but I'm not asking for necessarily Vision to be in that universe. I'm simply asking for Wanda to incorporate Vision into his plans, which of course would alter the story a bunch. So he probably would be in a different universe. But you know what I'm trying.
that's yeah. I understand that. I'm just saying like Vision probably never would have been in the movie given the structure. You know what I mean? But I don't know because you say what you said, Brennan, about Wanda dog walking Vision and being fine with it. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure if she had to fight Vision, she probably would have lost on purpose and probably killed herself because she is fucking. She's still torn up about the fact that she had to kill him all these years later, like, which is understandable. But like having to do it twice probably would have been too much for Wanda, knowing how Wanda is. And then, ergo, the plot is just gone, which is why I think that Vision wasn't in this movie whatsoever. I do agree he probably should have been mentioned aside from the I had to kill him and Vision had his theories about the multiverse. Like, I agree with that 100%, but I don't think that if he was in the movie, I don't think that the movie would have worked at all. Anyways,
Well, do you have anything to say about it, Adrian, or not?
Nah, I'm nothing I can have any gripe. I mean, I was gonna say the point of his character felt complete at the end of the movie. No, show
Yeah.
at WandaVision. So I don't really care to see his character. I don't want to say I don't really care to see his character again, but I don't think it's necessary to see his character again. Now, mentioning him more and incorporating to the plot, I can agree with, because it did kind of just feel like I just want my kids and my kids only. Fuck
Yeah.
Vision, he dead. He's a dead dad. Don't care. I need my
Deadbeat.
kids.
Take it too literally.
It did just kind of feel like she just blatantly didn't care about Vision anymore, which could also go more into as in, oh, she's gone off the deep end. She's trying to like reap what she can sow, and she knows that her kids are in the universe or in the multiverse, and she can just go into take the other Wanda place and just be the mom she always wanted to be ever since WandaVision. My only gripe, I guess, with this movie would be like, oh, technically, if there's a huge multiverse, she can technically just find a multiverse where Wanda just so happened to die and the kids are still there. What will you do? But it's not as simple as that, as always.
See, but that wouldn't work either.
That's a good point,
That
actually.
wouldn't work though.
It wouldn't work. No, it wouldn't work. But that's kind of like if out of the box thinking,
Like Vision and the
oh,
kids are just
technically,
supposed to accept that their dead, like, significant other / mother is back, huh? No.
Well, yeah, of course they wouldn't accept it, but
they wouldn't accept it, but she there. she gonna be crazy about it. She can be like, "What you mean?"
exactly, she gonna hold them like ransom, bro.
No, that's why she was planning on killing herself to sidestep in so they wouldn't suspect a thing.
I'm not
Alright,
saying
but
it's like
she's
a major
crazy.
gripe. It's kind of just something like I just
No,
thought of. It's
I
kind of like
know. I'm just saying, like,
the thought process of, oh, couldn't Thanos technically snap more resources in the universe and keep doing that infinitely? It's like, it's not really a big issue. It's kind of just I thought you can have.
technically, that's not. We're not discussing that.
We're not
Yeah,
going
we're
to that
not
discussion.
discussing this.
Yeah,
That's
let's
just
not, man,
something
let's not.
people commonly say.
That's
though, when they
that's
first thought
if
of
we
it.
literally have no topics and we're just shooting the shit. That's that kind of subject.
Yeah.
But before we move on from this, while we're still talking about Wanda, so Billy and Tommy, one of my gripes with this movie is I feel like this is like the subliminal way of saying that Wiccan and Speed are never going to actually be heroes in the MCU, or at least in the 616 universe. I don't know if they're going to be branching off into other universes and doing that shit, but cuz like it kind of just seems like they're officially dead. At least that's what I'm taking from it. And I know that like in the comics Billy and Tommy are just stolen away by Mephisto, but it kind of, as more and more time goes on and more stuff happens with both of these characters, it kind of seems like the whole Mephisto plot point is never happening. So I just wanted to ask all of you, if you think that Billy and Tommy are going to come back, or are Billy and Tommy just a plot point and then they're done?
I'm gonna say this one time and one time only. Man, fuck them
Bruh.
kids.
I think that they'll find a way to get him into 616 simply because Young Avengers is happening, and it doesn't really make sense to introduce these kids who aren't both of them Young Avengers? Or?
I mean, they can be. I know Wiccan is in one of the Avengers teams, which is Billy. I don't know anything about Tommy. All I know is that Tommy has super speed.
It just feels like a weird thing to very intentionally set up
and show that they have powers just to not do anything with them.
Yeah. What does everyone else think?
I mean, it makes sense to show that they have powers because it's like Wanda is their mom.
Okay,
So like to think completely that they wouldn't have powers, and like it's not like think this all like they realistically came from her in the Wanda show. They come from her imagination, and it's not like they have like crazy superpowers. One's super fast, just like her brother, and then one has like telekinetic
no,
powers,
he has
right?
chaos magic. That's not nothing. Chaos magic is a huge fucking
Well,
deal.
okay, well, but it's what she has. So essentially, her kids have what her and her brother have. So then, like, to me, that's not like out of the ordinary. It's like, okay, she made up the kids, and the kids have like her and her brother's powers. That's not too crazy to me because they never inferred that either of the kids had powers in the movie in these other universes. Like, even when they attacked the quote unquote monster Wanda, like our Wanda, they were throwing toys at her. You know what I mean? And it's not like the one kid like ran super fast to get toys to throw. Like it was a very like typical kids trying to protect their mom, not using any crazy powers, just throwing shit at her. Like so there was no implication that those had powers. Um so that's where it's like I don't know because the ones that did have powers right now are complete like they're erased. Like that whole thing's gone. And these new ones showed no implications of powers. Um and it seemed like Wanda didn't really try to use her powers all that much, like in that universe, that Wanda specifically. So that's where it's like they could try to do something, but it seems like they use them more as plot points for Wanda, and like it was more of like Wanda's motivation in the movie. Her motivation was to get her kids
Yeah,
back.
but like it
So
just circles back to if they were just plot points, why give them powers?
well, I think, like I said, in WandaVision, you just would assume that they would have powers
How?
because they're Wanda's
Okay,
kids,
but
and she made them
she
up.
was surprised that the both of them had powers. So she didn't make them with powers intentionally. Keyword intentionally, I know,
Yeah,
but
she also didn't intentionally make a whole ass town, but she was going through emotions. She was missing her brother, and if one kid's gonna subliminally get powers, the other one's gonna subliminally get powers too. Like I said, it's realistically they just got her and her brother's powers. Like it's like if they would have gotten like I know probably comic wise that's also what they get, but like thinking about it, like like if they would have gotten like one had fire powers and the other had ice powers or something, then I would have been like, well, it's weird how like you gave them such like you gave them powers, but they were things that had nothing to do with you personally, But like if you create them and then like okay one has your powers and one has your brother's powers, you were clearly going through a time where you were missing your brother as well, like that was still something that was coming up. So for him to it's kind of like a homage, like a subliminal homage to your brother, like he's still with you, your kid has his powers. And then, like I said, just the other one, you would just naturally give other powers. Like a lot of stuff she did in that show was by accident. So I'm not saying it's not like a coincidence. Like they did it for a reason. Maybe they did, but I wouldn't be like baffled if they were just like, oh yeah, she just like accidentally gave them her brother's powers. Like she didn't mean to, but like we wanted to give the fan service but we don't plan on doing anything with them because, like you said, they've done nothing with them other than use them as a plot point. Like Mephisto hasn't been even really mentioned, so it's like it's hard to believe now at the point of time we're in, because we're also supposed to assume that Wanda's dead by the end of this movie.
Yeah.
See that's
Or
actually
at the
I think
very
that'll
least, Scarlet Witch is dead. At the very least.
I think that'll answer the question, the original question of whether the two boys will come back into 616. And the answer to that question is if Wanda is alive. If Wanda's alive, then they'll probably come back because let's be honest, if she's alive, she's gonna get those kids. But if she's dead, then their chances of showing up again are much lower because it wouldn't really make sense to pull them from another universe without Wanda. So,
or unless in that universe they are like set up to be like kids with superpowers. Just in the universes we've been shown or that we've seen, there's ours, which they had powers, but that's completely wiped from existence. And then there's the one that we see in this movie where they seem like normal kids. Like it seems like a normal family. But I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. I'd prefer to be wrong because it's just more content to be able to watch. But it is what it is.
I don't know. I just like Wiccan, and I feel like that's wasted potential.
I mean, it is for sure if they don't like.
Cause like,
But if it doesn't,
Cap-
make
cause
sense,
that's
then-
also two
then-
free characters for Young Avengers. You know what I mean? Like for free.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Like
Yeah,
you don't
but, like,
have
That's
to
what I'm
give
saying.
them an
How would they
origin
even
story
implement
because
them?
we know the origin story from years. Like
Who knows? America Chavez, like, keep in mind, America Chavez is a character now, so she can hop. Like, there could be a time where she's like, hold on, I have an idea. And she goes and pulls them out of one of the other. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but it could
Like,
cause
it's
an
not something
incursion.
that,
Yeah.
not if she just pulls them for like a couple minutes, to
Bruh.
help.
There's
hey, we
a
need some
terrorist
help.
attacking. Let me go grab
then-
Wiccan and Speed real quick.
They better not die when they help.
But, I'm just saying nothing's impossible.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to see how they would pull it off, if anything. I just don't see it being likely.
I still think it's a possibility because like she had no idea that the dream hopping thing was a thing, and at the end of WandaVision we hear both of them yell for her. So like obviously, at least for me, with those context clues, they're both still alive. Like her kids are both still alive. It's just where the fuck are they? And I'm personally, my theory is they're waiting for those kids to get older for them to bring them back.
So they can have more of a teenage.
Yeah, for them to actually be like teenagers, or maybe they're looking for kids who look like similar to them that are older to use them, and then they'll bring them back and just have them age up again. That's my theory.
Possible.
Who here thinks that Wanda is dead?
I don't think she's dead. There's no fucking way she's dead.
I don't want to believe it. just
If she
'cause,
is,
yeah,
she
you
is.
wanna-
But if she isn't, I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
Listen, I just don't believe some rubble destroyed
I don't
her
want
when
to
she's, like,
hold
back in
up.
her
You
room.
gonna say some rubble? That looked like a whole ass fucking monument she dropped on herself.
And you
And
were
it's
rubble to
telling
her?
me
It's rubble to
she's
her.
gonna-
I'll say this could have been a Scarlet Witch is dead, Wanda's still alive.
Nah,
Like,
I
they
want
got
Scarlet
so.
Witch
They
back,
got-
baby.
They got rid of the Darkhold, so like, because Scarlet Witch I could be wrong, but Scarlet Witch is more of the like evil side of her, isn't it? No. Oh well. The
I
evil
just
side
feel
of
like-
Scarlet Witch is dead. The good side.
See, I hope that the evil side of Scarlet. She's such a good character because she's such a tragic character, and she's so good at fucking ruining shit. I'm just because even Elizabeth Olsen has said that she wants to say the "No More Mutants" line in some capacity. I'm like, please bring us the X-Men just to fucking rip them away and make all of us suffer, please.
I think Diego has a weird kink with Scarlet Witch, bro.
She's one of my
Mommy
favorite
Maximoff,
X-Men.
bro.
I love Scarlet Witch.
He loved the mommy Max off.
I'm
What can you
sick of
say?
you.
Yeah, this can't be the end for her, bro. Well, I didn't get introduced to her all the way back in Avengers 2 just for it to end like this.
Nah,
That's
I mean,
all I'm
might
saying.
have.
nah. There's no way.
No.
There's no
Might
way.
have. I don't believe this is the end for her, but
Plus, I'm pretty
It's
sure
okay.
she
Guess
still
we'll
got
find out.
contract. She still got projects on her contract, so there's no way.
you
Multiverse,
like a
bro.
Black Widow.
Our Wanda's dead. That doesn't mean the other universe Wanda's dead.
True.
Nah, that's messed up because think about what our universe Wanda has gone through. That just sucks, man. Everything is just L after L after
Bro, they
L.
could grab one
And
from
every
another
So
universe that
taken
went through
off.
the
It's
same shit.
crazy.
It's fine.
Yeah, bro. Listen, she
It won't
just
be
took
the
her
same.
final L. She took her final life, bro.
All
I'm
right,
dead.
moving on. Unless
All right, Wanda was a straight savage this
facts.
movie. And she did some people
Oh
dirty.
god.
And those
That-
people were
The
the
Illuminati.
Illuminati.
The biggest fucking dog walk of the
See,
movie.
now this is why I said that they could use like a time extension. Cause like
Oh.
like I feel like they could have used maybe like another 10 minutes to play up the Illuminati a little bit more instead of bringing Doctor Strange into a room, dropping all of these characters that we were waiting to see, and then 5 minutes later killing all of them. Like you could
Mhm.
still kill them. Just like give us some like investment into these characters so we're not like, wow, y'all just got dog walked. You know what I mean? Especially when all of the trailers for fucking forever were so heavily focused on Professor Xavier being like I don't even remember what he says in the trailers. But like, you know what I mean? Like they pushed that so hard just for them to be in maybe 15 minutes worth of the movie.
Listen, the best part about the Illuminati was when Professor X came in and that theme song started
Yes,
playing in the
sir.
background, bro.
Mhm.
I was living for that moment, bro. Could have sat there forever listening to that theme song. That theme song was fire. It was the best theme song ever.
I hope they incorporate that theme song into the X-Men movies.
I'm still mad I was spoiled for Reed Richards.
Dude, I'm mad for
Dude,
you.
it was a day. It was literally Wednesday night. I'm on YouTube scrolling, and I see what looks like him, and I'm like, "No, this cannot be real," and I refuse. And turns out it was real. I was right. Whoever posted that video and whoever YouTube just
Your
said,
mom's a
"You know
hoe.
what? Yeah, your mom's a hoe. You stuck your mama's testicles too." I was heated, bro.
Dude,
Like YouTube, I didn't get spoiled from Twitter
that's what I'm
or
saying.
Instagram.
That's what I'm fucking saying,
It's
bro.
YouTube.
I was dumb as
what?
shit, dude. I wouldn't have even been mad because I was scrolling through Twitter all day on Wednesday, all day on Thursday.
Bro,
Not one
that
fucking
was
spoiler.
me.
Not one fucking spoiler.
Nothing but YouTube. I actually watch entertainment, and I just get spoiled. How the fuck did I get spoiled on YouTube of all platforms? I'm just man, I was so mad about that, bro.
Listen, bro. The Illuminati was the biggest embarrassment of this goddamn movie, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Like,
they literally go, "We can handle your little Dreamwalker." Just to 2 minutes later, all of them get whacked in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that they actually stood a chance. I'm like, okay,
And
they
then
have a little confidence in themselves. No,
not
they just
only
get
that,
flat.
but they stood behind the person who can only stretch. Who can only
okay,
stretch.
actually, to your point, the fact that the weakest person in that group was in front is kind of crazy to me in retrospect.
Bro,
She attacked
bro,
first.
All Black Bolt had to do was land and go sup, and literally done. Game over. Congratulations, y'all won.
That's
But
true.
no, they land and they try to play they go, what you talking about, bro? He can enter with one word. And she goes, with what mouth?
Stop talking right here, because the one thing that I am mad about the fucking most in this movie is you're giving Reed Richards, the fucking smartest character in one of the 5 smartest characters in Marvel, the stupidest fucking line in the movie. The stupidest line in the movie.
Man thought he was Naruto with the talk no jutsu, bro.
Not even, bro. He's like, oh yeah, that guy right there, that guy's your biggest threat. Fuck with him. He speaks, you're dead. Oh, really? Okay. No mouth.
With what mouth?
Exactly. Like,
can we hold on? I do want to talk about something. How did y'all feel about Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau's like?
It's not Monica Rambeau.
Version.
It's her
Oh,
mom.
well. Okay, how do you feel about that version? Because I'm gonna be honest.
I'm mad that she died. I'm mad that she died. Like, dead ass. I am mad that she died, because there's no fucking way that you're going to make a different version of Captain Marvel get crushed by a fucking stone. Are you serious? This is Captain Marvel we're talking about.
Did that actually kill her? I thought that just like knocked her out.
No, that killed her. Like, killed her.
That's crazy.
I think it's safe to assume that it killed her because all the other ones got wasted.
And so, you don't see her pop back up because and plus there's no way that knocked her out anyways, so she has to be dead.
Well, someone brought up a good point. Could Wanda have maybe like sucked out power from her? Because she did start losing her suit. Yeah. I thought it was like she was using up too much power.
She probably was sucking up the power, but
that's what I assumed too.
I'm
It's
so
looked like she was absorbing cosmic energy.
But see, my gripe with her was how hostile she was to like everyone. Cause like, I get it. Doctor Strange, we know he arrogant. He ain't the most fun person to be around. Like, I get it, but like, she was like extra salty, bro. Like, she was ready to just kill everybody. Like at the flip of a penny, bro. Like, she did not like Strange. Like, you visibly saw she did not like Strange. And she just seemed to fight with so much anger against Wanda. Given we don't know if there's like beef between her and Wanda in that universe. It didn't seem like there was. But like,
I mean, to be fair, she killed her friend, so
yeah.
Yeah. But like even before, she just seemed so like angry and violent the whole time. Like, that's just the vibe I got. She seemed very like just like she wanted to kill everybody. Like she was on smoke 24/7, bro. Like, I was like, dang, bro. Like, there's not an ounce of like any like type of like
neutrality.
How would you say that? Like, yeah, there was none. Like, you know how everyone kind of like almost like kind of trying to hear him out or like at least see his side of the story, but they were making it very clear.
She was the one who said that all of the Doctor Stranges are the same. So like, she clearly just was like, yeah, no, I'm not fucking with you because the you that we had to deal with, hell nah. Nope.
Yeah, like, and like what's weird is in the flashback, it's like he was like, okay, like we did it, and I get it, I did something wrong, so you're good, you can kill me. Which is like, man was pretty reasonable. I mean, like everyone else was crying, you know, and she's just like, yeah, this bitch is gonna get what he deserves. Like, god damn. I was like, what? Like I get it. Like, that was probably like mad annoying for you to have to deal with. Like, this motherfucker, like, really. But like, I was just like, why are you so angry, bro? Like, relax, man. Like, chill. Maybe she's going through a hard time though. I don't, who knows? People got personal stuff, you know. I get it, but I was like, dang, bro. Like, everyone else seemed to be like, other than like, what's his name, Mordo?
Baron Mordo.
Forget Mordo. Yeah. Other than him, like, he was like, obviously he was on smoke mode like 24/7. He ain't like Doctor Strange.
Just hating, bro.
Dog,
yeah,
like I said last night,
Mordo was just hating.
No matter what universe, he always a hater.
Yeah, but like everyone else was like Black Bolt definitely looked like a little standoffish. Charles Xavier, I mean, is Professor X. He about as peaceful as you can get.
I still just love how they
and
all
then-
walked out the door and Professor Xavier switched up so fast. He's like, "Yeah, we gonna get you out of here."
Yeah. But that's because he can read people
Yeah.
better. Like that's like
See,
that's
my
fair. But
question
even Reed
is why
Richards was
he
like,
didn't try to why he didn't say anything while they were all there. Cause he walks
probably
in a
knew there
room
was
and
no
he knows
persuading them.
everybody as well as they know themselves. Like,
but think Captain Marvel was like 100%. You weren't convincing her nothing. Mordo, you're not convincing her. Like that's automatic 2 no's. Like that's
okay,
for sure.
but there's 4 of them.
So-
Captain Carter is a reasonable person if she's anything like, Carter or Agent Carter or Steve at that matter. Black Bolt.
She was definitely willing to hear him out, but she was definitely also leaning more towards the we need to get rid of this dude.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Like,
but I'm
she
saying
was definitely a little more hostile.
she's reasonable. Reed Richards will listen to Professor X because he's fucking smart enough to know that he should, and Black Bolt will probably just be the median, like the top.
That's a wild
toss
card.
up.
That's a wild card.
But it didn't look like
I don't know
Black Bolt
anything
didn't
about her.
like him, so I don't know.
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
in the
seemed like they were,
flashback,
like,
he was like
friends with
crying.
Exactly. So he obviously, was probably friends with that Doctor Strange, so our Doctor Strange would have some pull. And that's 4 yeses, 2 nos. Fuck it.
Yeah, but
I'm still just
Who knows?
so fucking mad that if they just heard Strange out, none of them would have died. Not a single fucking one of them would have died.
Pretty much. But
why do you guys think Iron Man wasn't in it? Because
I
he's
have a
supposed to be part of
theory.
the Illuminati, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of surprised that they subbed out like a Tom Cruise, the reported Tom Cruise Iron Man for Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel's never, in my experience, been on the Illuminati. So I like that part was kind of like wild to me.
yeah, I never remembered Captain Marvel ever being in like the Illuminati. It felt weird because I didn't never heard of her intelligence being that good. But maybe I'm just
No,
biased,
she's
maybe.
literally just
Listen.
Oh, so she just ooga booga cosmic energy.
I wouldn't say ooga booga cosmic energy, but like, yeah. if we're
They couldn't let us.
if we're
Listen, bro, they couldn't let us go through 2 Iron Man deaths. They're like, no, that's too much.
actually, that may be it. I don't know. They're just like, yeah, we
And I
know
love
like
you
3
3,000
movies
times
ago we
twice.
just killed off Tony Stark, but we're gonna kill off Tony Stark again.
Yeah, let's do it again.
But it's not Robert Downey Jr., so it's fine.
Wait, I want to hear Jay's theory.
My theory is that they decided to save Tom Cruise as Iron Man
For future.
for like another in the future, because there's going to be more multiverse stuff in the future, and there's only going to be so many crazy reviews that they can do now. And also it would probably feel, because there's the chance that Mr. Fantastic could stay Mr. Fantastic. He has the best shot out of all of them. I mean, there's really only him and Black Bolt, right?
Yeah.
At that point, like for those actors to return. So I think that if
I mean, even
if
what's
his
her
actor,
face?
well, hear me out though. Hear me out. If his version of Mr. Fantastic dies alongside of Tom Cruise's version of Iron Man, then it's like, well, both those characters come back. It's like just like, I don't know. It takes away. I feel like it would take away from the scene where Wanda kills them, even though that scene is already kind of, for me, I don't know. For me, that scene's not the best. But I mean, I'm just saying they want to keep all their options open, and they can save that reveal for the future. Even though I think that this movie could have used more cameos, but that's just me.
Yeah, actually, that is one thing. I'm
Also, like, there
surprised
really
that they pulled back hella hard on the cameos.
This ain't Multiverse of Madness. This is just Wanda's madness.
This is
Literally.
Multiverse of Mama's anger.
Hey yo.
Yes, sir.
So do you guys think John Krasinski will come back as Mr. Fantastic because I don't think he will.
I
think if he does, he's gonna have to act completely differently.
well, here's the thing. Reed Richards is kind of a dick, and John Krasinski was very much not a
Exactly.
dick. So
Exactly.
so I think it's very simple because Reed Richards is Tony Stark without the what's the word? You know how like Tony Stark is like a dick, but he's like a funny dick? Just
yeah.
imagine not him not being funny. That's Reed Richards. So
Just an
yeah, he's just an
asshole.
asshole.
my thing is like everyone knows that like the entire MCU and like a lot of comic book fans have wanted John Krasinski to be Mr. Fantastic. John Krasinski wanted to be Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's
right?
wanted to be Mr. Fantastic since like 2018, I think.
So now like why fan service us when you know you're gonna kill him off? And of course you could play it off like, oh yeah, they killed him off, but just so that to reveal like he'll be staying or surprising, so it's like a bigger surprise. But like his character was so underwhelming in this movie
What you mean?
that it's just like
what?
dog.
No, I gotta be honest, Diego.
I mean,
I'm
the
kind of with
Illuminati as a
Brent.
whole were underwhelming. If I'm
Yeah.
being-
Yeah,
yeah.
Yes.
yeah, all of them except for Professor X. Professor X was perfect.
Yeah, he was normal. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
feel like
but-
him and Professor X. Like I feel obviously Professor X. You can't go wrong with that. But like, I feel like
It's
he
not-
wasn't underwhelming. He
it's
just
not
was just
John
there.
Krasinski's fault. It's exactly that's my point. For having a fan cast like that, where it's supposed to be that, and then to put him at the forefront as if he's like they made like everyone was sitting in that room except for Professor X and except for Reed Richards. Reed Richards had like the big introduction. You know, Captain Marvel was already sitting in the room, Bolt was sitting in the room, Peggy Carter was sitting in the room, but Reed Richards and Professor X made an entrance. Professor X had his theme song playing in, coming in like a fucking G, and then Reed Richards came freaking teleporting in, whatever the hell that was, right? So like it kind of made it like a big deal, and they know that's gonna be the one that gets like, because that's the one that like they were like, we are keeping this one on lock. Like this is gonna be the surprise, right? They let Professor X be known. Tom Cruise was like a big one that was speculated. Everyone knew about Captain Marvel already. Black Bolt was like a surprise, but not a surprise. Like we knew he was in the Illuminati, but also he's not that big of a character for people to really like be like, oh my god. But Fantastic Four has been the thing that like everyone's like, oh, we should be getting a movie. Kind of excited. We want John Krasinski to be Mr. Fantastic. Like it's a big deal to put him in the movie, and then to also, like I said, everyone lands. He's in the forefront. He has to talk no jutsu, and then just gets popped and strung out. Like it's just like it was underwhelming, not due to Krasinski. It's just what they did with him as a character, and it's and like Javen said, it's really the Illuminati as a whole. Like that was supposed to be a big thing of the movie, like you said, and then for them to only be like 15 minutes of it, and not even a good 15 minutes. Like
It was like
10 minutes of that was them getting whacked.
not
like,
even. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, and so like, just it felt very underwhelming, and I don't know. Like, I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see him reprise the role, but thinking about it and like thinking about like him being a director, a producer, and like acting in other movies and stuff, like it seemed like this was like you get what you want, you get to be Captain, or you get to be Mr. Fantastic. The fans get to see you as Mr. Fantastic. Yes, unfortunately, we're planning to kill you in 5 minutes, but like everyone's happy for that 5 minutes. They get what they want, but we'll have to recast for the actual movie. And then it goes back to when he comes in, Doctor Strange says, I don't know what he says, but something about the 60s. So then that makes me wonder when is this MCU Mr. Fantastic or not Mr. but Fantastic Four movie gonna happen and what gonna do with it?
So
Because I think he says, didn't you get crisped in the 60s?
he said, I'm pretty sure you charted in the 60s. It was a Beatles reference.
Okay, well, that was like a
That was
like if it's a
that
Beatles
was
reference, okay. Because
let me explain. That reference is obscure as fuck. But there's a comic with where the Beatles meet the Fantastic Four. It was such an obscure reference. But yeah.
Mhm.
But see, like, either way, that references the fact that Doctor Strange knows who Reed Richards is, which means that must have happened already in 616.
I don't know. I think you're reaching
don't
with him
think so.
knowing who Reed Richards is, because, like I said, it was just a Beatles reference. Because there was 4 of the Beatles, but I don't know.
Oh,
But
what
again,
a weird joke.
That's what I'm
But,
saying.
like,
It's
okay,
it's
but,
such
like,
a
okay,
weird fucking
there's-
thing to
but-
say, but
but it's a weird thing to say because where does the 4 come from? They didn't introduce him as the Fantastic Four team member. They introduced the smartest man in the world,
no,
Reed
they
Richards.
said something. They
Was
they
it Warren
mentioned
the
guy?
Fantastic Four, I think.
I don't know. They
I'm pretty
didn't.
sure they did.
Even
Not
if they
that I
didn't, he's
remember.
got a giant 4 right on his
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah.
But that still seems off for him to make some kind
You're
of
right. It is off.
60s.
But
Like, to me, it seemed like he was kind of aware of who he was, or like it was like an insinuation. I hope I'm wrong because I don't want a movie where the Fantastic Four is in the 60s like that.
me either.
I don't want it words. Like
Me neither.
I'm enjoying being in the present time of the MCU. And I have a theory where, like, maybe when they get their powers, they get shot into a black hole and get fast forward maybe into like present time MCU if it is like 60s developed. But like, I don't know. It's just like everything's up in the air with Fantastic Four right now, and I think my coworker was telling me that the director just left the project.
The director,
Oh,
So
yeah, I'm so sad
now-
about
the
that.
director left the project because he
So
wants to
now
spend
it's
more time with
not
his
director
family.
either.
There was no like dispute or anything between them.
Big deal about
Yeah.
it. Okay. Well,
He's
like
such
even
a good director.
I
too.
and
know.
it's just like, I would be surprised to see John Krasinski hold the role, I guess. Like, I'd be more surprised to see that he still has it than to see it
I
change.
think so. This is my piece. I think there's a chance that he may be Mr. Fantastic, period, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fantastic Four, since they still have not announced the cast, which they're probably waiting because of this movie to announce that. But what was I trying to say? Oh, fuck. God damn it. I fucking hate myself. I really just lost my whole train of thought.
It's fine, you're buffering.
What was I saying?
They were waiting to release the cast after this movie so that John Krasinski isn't like a big like surprise. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so that he
Okay.
still is
Yeah.
surprised
Thank
on the
you. Thank you for
Illuminati.
giving me that back. Okay. So, like, if they didn't put him in this movie and they announced him as Mr. Fantastic for the Fantastic Four, like, you're not going to get a payoff the way that you did with this cameo. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, he's Mr. Fantastic. That's cool. That's not really going to generate the same amount of buzz, at least in my opinion. Like, you could feel it differently.
I
but
see what you're saying, I
yeah,
guess.
like, I feel like that's why they had him like make a cameo in this movie, just because like you're getting that reaction instead of just reading it or like watching the trailer and being like, oh, that's dope.
Mhm.
But I feel like it would be weird if he isn't Mr. Fantastic going forward, because like if you've like read an article with him talking about being Mr. Fantastic, like I think he turned down like 3 different roles in the MCU because he wanted to be Mr. Fantastic. Like, that's the character that he said that he wants to be, which same thing with Chris Hemsworth. I think he turned down Captain America because he said that he wanted to be Thor. Like he just brings the Chris Hemsworth energy when it comes to Mr. Fantastic for me. So if he isn't going to be Mr. Fantastic in Fantastic Four movie, I feel like that would be kind of weird just because Marvel, like, will do anything for Chris Hemsworth at this fucking point because Chris Hemsworth has said that he will be Thor until they no longer want him to be Thor. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that John Krasinski really enjoys. I'm sure he'll probably make time to be Mr. Fantastic. Like if you're a director, you can kind of work around that shit. At least that's what my understanding is. Especially when he's got as good of a track record as he does. Like I feel like he could make
He could
time.
just direct the Fantastic
That
Four.
too. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Cuz
He's already proven himself
no,
a great
yeah,
filmmaker with
my hesitation is because of the Ben Affleck thing, but my was, or Kevin Feige is smarter than the execs at Warner Brothers, so he may just let it happen. Especially now that
what's the Ben Affleck
he was
thing?
supposed to
Yeah,
he was supposed to direct his own Batman film, and then they told him no, so he didn't want to do the Batman film anymore, which is why the Ben Affleck solo Batman film never happened.
Yeah, but I don't think Kevin Feige would tell him that and then change his mind.
That's
after.
why.
That'd be pretty messed up.
I just didn't say anything because that's the whole conversation I had with myself in my head.
Oh.
Do you think he'd be good at making a superhero film like that though?
I mean,
Sure, why not?
Quiet Place
Horror
is
and
fucking
superhero movies
yeah.
go together pretty well. Like the director of Doctor Strange 1 was a horror director.
Yeah, and like it's horror, comedy, and superhero, or in like the superhero movies. Like that's like the perfect fucking triangle or the trinity. Because if you can make a good comedy, you can make a great horror. If you can make a great horror, you can make a good comedy. And if you could manage to do both, you're either or you can make a good fucking superhero movie. So he's pulled off The Quiet Place twice. I don't see why he would be bad at doing and plus he's been great as Jim in The Office, which is, a comedy. So
for me personally, he would just have to act very differently than he did in this movie. This movie, he was just like regular himself. Yeah. Just, I'm a family guy. Here I am. Not like how I think Reed Richards should be.
Yeah. Now, Black Bolt. We're probably never going to see that man again.
Kind of sad. I'd like to see more.
Like,
person.
Yes and no.
I refuse to watch the show. I hear
it's fucking dog shit.
I refuse to watch it. I'd love to see an Inhuman movie though. I think that'd be very interesting because the characters seem cool.
I don't know. I like the potential because I said this years ago when they announced an Inhumans movie, and like Kevin Feige didn't want to do it. It was the executive who wanted to do it at the time, and it ended up becoming a show because it's a whole fucking thing. You can read about it. Like, if they decided to do something with Inhumans, that would be cool because I like some of the storylines that in like mutants versus Inhumans is like a huge thing in the comics. So I feel like it would be really cool to have some shit around that. Plus Civil War 2 is all about that. So yeah, I like the potential that it could have, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. That move or that one season of that show dug that fucking portion of Marvel in its own grave.
Unfortunate.
Does anyone have anything specific to say about any of the Illuminati members still?
Fuck Mordo.
Yeah, fuck Mordo.
El Mordo, bro. I can't believe he's the only one who survived.
Mad as hell.
Mordo is the Illuminati now.
Mad as hell.
Well, since it seems like we're past just talking about the individual members of the Illuminati, I just want to complain about this fight scene, bro. Like, it reminds me of like episode 1 in Invincible. Like that, like, but done not good.
Done not good.
Because,
Mhm.
bro, in Invincible, like you can just feel like,
Oh
oh
yeah,
man,
you're right.
these characters have been together forever, and it's so traumatizing for them watching their friends die. In this one, it's like they're just standing around. There's not even like, I
That's
don't even
I'm
remember
that's
if
surprised there's
anybody
why
really
I
not an
reacted.
said
emotional
it
impact when they
it could have
die.
benefited this section could have benefited from a longer
Yeah.
movie because there could have been an actual fight and not Wanda dog
Yes.
walking them one after another. Like
I
she could
agree
still dog walk
100%.
them at the end, but just make it like all of them fighting
Make it a
together.
fight.
Show us what Thanos
Yeah.
what whooped Thanos' ass. Like
Black Bolt spoke to him, bro. He whispered in his ear.
he whispered.
He didn't even get the
"Hey,
chance
all of
against
them are
Wanda, bro.
whispering you."
That's exactly what he did to Thanos, bro.
Yeah, Black Bolt soloed Thanos, bro.
I'm just like
They're like, oh damn, you already beat him? Shit,
Like-
that's crazy.
killing off Black Bolt first, fine. Fuck it. It's still the stupidest line in the world, but fuck it. But like have everybody else fight Wanda together. Like it's not that hard.
For sure. For sure. Dude, Mr. Fantastic, it's like he didn't even do anything. He just threw like one stretchy punch and then he was dead, bro.
He got caught halfway through the stretchy punch.
He threw
Yeah.
half a stretchy punch.
Yeah,
And like
Gum no pistol wasn't gonna work this
like
time.
I understand, I guess, if you don't want to show off his powers to the full extent, if that like that's such a shit thing to say. I know somebody's probably gonna be mad as hell that I even said it. But like thinking about it objectively, the Fantastic Four movies have never done well. Most people probably don't even know who the fuck Mr. Fantastic is. You want to show off his powers before the movie is even like announced? Not really, because then that's 1/4 of a reason to not watch it because you already know what one of them does. Like, if that's the reason, it's stupid as hell, but fine, I'll accept it. I will, but I still think it's so fucking dumb. Like, it was, I,
Poor Illuminati, bro.
I'm still so mad that
I just can't believe
they literally use this as so much of the promotion material for it to be 5 minutes of us watching them get dog walked.
Yeah, they just
they
got,
watched him get turned to Swiss cheese, bro.
Why?
They didn't do nothing.
they just stood there and like, oh my god. All right.
Oh my god.
You would
word.
not believe your eyes.
That was pretty much how a lot of their deaths felt like
Like
oh
the
my
only
god.
two that fought
Continue
together
to
were
fight.
Captain Marvel and Captain Carter. And Captain Marvel fucked off
And it
for
was
half
only
of the
briefly.
fight.
For sure.
Yeah. Carter thought
I
she
can't
should
believe-
win. I'm like, damn, it's crazy. You last longer than Fantastic or Mr.
That's
Fantastic.
what I'm saying, dog.
Oh, that would have been so cool if they used their powers
That's
together.
what I'm saying.
Like she uses the shield with his stretchy. Like we're just spitballing here. We're already coming up with something cool.
Or
I'm imagining it now.
or literally Captain Marvel could have shot her fucking shot at Captain Carter's shield, and it could have been a mirroring of
Yeah.
Iron Man and Steve.
Yeah.
We already made a better movie,
it's so
bro.
simple. I'm saying. And I can't believe they disrespected Peggy with her saying, I could do this all
2
day.
seconds later,
you
she gets
cannot.
cut in
Chopped
half.
in half, bro. Like, why even have her say the line if she's just gonna get folded like that?
Got fooled like goddamn omelet.
Needless to say, the Illuminati got absolutely annihilated, and it was violent.
It was so
Like,
violent.
It was
Brutal as hell. Black Bolt's death was just the most brutal I've seen in MCU.
For real.
Like,
for sure. It was honestly, that was like the best part of the whole fight, in my opinion.
It was.
Because it was the least
Yeah.
expected. It was the least expected, and it was so brutal. I thought, even though I felt bad for him that he got taken out so fast, like at least it was the most interesting thing that happened.
It was. Like, I kind of like that they're doing like a little more dark with their stuff, because Moon Knight, we've talked about it. Go check it out. Go check out our review for the season finale and the this week's episode. But
I just want to know, why did he talk when his mouth got shut?
because he was like,
Bro didn't talk. He yelled.
He was
bro.
like-
I feel like he had like an
he literally
anxiety
was like,
attack. He's
huh,
what the
and then died.
Bruh, I was just like, you know what your power is. You did it to yourself, quite literally.
Okay, but like,
Maybe he thought he can like blow.
yeah,
open a new
exactly.
mouth.
He probably thought that he could blow open like where his mouth was supposed to be, but it just backfired.
I'm sorry, I ain't
Backfired
taking
on
that
you.
chance, bro. I'll throw hands.
He
It's
doesn't
fine.
have anything but the voice, though, dog. That's it.
He got
He's
hands.
a huge
You can throw
dude.
him.
Outside of his voice, he's literally just a dude.
Okay, but like, you're talking a chance of speaking and blowing the back of your head out, or at least being killed a different way other than your own power.
You make no sense, bruh.
Point is,
Yo,
that thing was
That was
graphic,
graphic.
bro.
yeah, the nose is. I mean, the blood coming out of his fucking nose. I was like, God damn! And his head.
Well,
his
you
head
literally
just caved in.
you literally watched the back of his head cave in. That shit was
Bro,
wild.
poor Professor X got his neck snapped.
Hey,
Bro got snook in his own mind too.
bro,
That
that
was
was
just
the
crazy.
least fucked up death. So I mean,
That wasn't his own mind, Adrian. He was in Wanda's mind.
Oh, Wanda, you're right. I don't know why I said it was on mine.
all I'm saying is that was the most peaceful death.
That was some least brutal
Yeah.
death.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's Patrick Stewart, bro. You can't just like destroy him.
Right.
He didn't even put up any fight either, though.
Because he already knew he was fucked.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do.
Look, I'm
So
sorry.
Wanda's just that strong in her mind too.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yes.
I'm sorry, dude, but like he knows who Wanda is. He knows how powerful she is. So especially
That's why he let Doctor Strange
Yeah.
go.
especially if in that universe she's a mutant like she should be, like he knows just how powerful she is, which is why his only hope was bringing the actual Wanda out and kicking the evil Wanda out.
That's basically the Dark Phoenix, like, tier of, like, you're gonna get
And
fucked.
she's more powerful than the Dark Phoenix, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So are we all in agreement that we don't necessarily mind that there's a lot more violence and these horror vibes for this movie?
I'm here
Oh, I
for
love
it,
But-
bro.
Yeah, me too. I think the problem was execution, not the
Well,
vibes.
the problem was Sam Raimi. Look,
Yeah.
I as much as I probably pissed somebody off or multiple people off, I think if Sam Raimi was directing it from the get-go, it wouldn't be that big of an issue. But from the moment that we got news that the original director walked away, in the back of my mind, as much as I didn't want to admit, I knew that this movie would probably be a train wreck. And in comparison to Marvel as a whole, this movie kind of is a train wreck. Like, it's not awful, but it's not as good as it should have been. I think that's fair to say, right?
I mean, I agree. I also had the same thought when I think his name is Scott
Yeah.
Derrickson. Well, the original director, when he left, I just got nervous. I got so
Because
nervous.
like it doesn't
And then
matter
when
how
they-
good of a director you are, if you're picking up off of somebody's work who obviously not all directors have the same fucking vision,
Mhm.
it'll be a miracle if it's amazing. Like like it's not that I
Yeah.
think that Sam Raimi's not capable of making a good movie by any means. It's just I feel like it's like I just said, anytime that a second director picks up a movie, the movie's not going to be as good as it should have been or as it originally would have been. Look at fucking Justice League.
Yeah.
That's worst case scenario.
It's funny because I actually I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like
I
I
did too,
enjoyed
but
it,
I just
but
don't think.
I
I think
think
if Sam Raimi did it from
I
scratch, it would have been so much better.
I think
Probably.
what helped me is you like every time we talked about the speculation, I kept saying like, dude, I'm sick of hearing shit about this movie. I just want to see it. That helped me not have any expectations. It helped me not get too caught up in like rumors of what could or should have happened, to where when I watched it, I just like enjoyed everything for what it was. And I was able to just like focus on like, yeah, like this was a good movie. And like so like for me, like I didn't really see, like, of course there was like little problems in the movie, but like I don't want to say it's Sam Raimi's fault. I don't want to say so, like, because I don't know what the other director was going to do. But like the American Chavez stuff, like that was more of like how the character was written and how she acted throughout the movie that I had a problem with. Which that who knows if that could have been fixed or whatever,
See,
um, and stuff. So like I don't know. Like I don't have a gripe with this movie. I don't know if for me, I don't know if it could have been any better than what it was. The only thing I really, really like wish would have been in there was a Deadpool cameo. That's it.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
just
Oh yeah,
imagine,
That would have been
dude,
fire.
if Deadpool was on the Illuminati, bro, it would have been over for Wanda, bro.
Why would they even let him on, bro? He's
Because they
not
can't kill him, bro. He will never
Bro,
go away.
forced his way on.
Technically Deadpool's the smartest one out of everyone because he's aware he's a comic book.
Exactly.
Technically he's smarter than all of them. But even if it was like the last like cutscene where he's like done punching himself in the face, like I would have loved for Ryan Reynolds with his like fucked up face to come up and be like, "So can I get a hot dog now?" Or like something like that, or like
Not
just
even
something
just in the
stupid.
suit, just being like, "Can I get a pizza ball?"
Yeah, like
Can I get a
dude, are you done
chimichanga?
punching yourself? I've been waiting here for 3 weeks trying to get a hot dog. Just something stupid like even that I would have been like, "Bro, this is great."
See, like,
For sure.
I get what you mean, Brennan, and like I didn't come in here expecting it to be good, expecting it to be bad. Like I came into the movie expecting to watch a Doctor Strange film, and I got a Doctor Strange film. That was my baseline requirement. But when reshoots were going on for 6 months, there's like, with that knowledge, it's like, okay, this movie isn't
Cause for
amazing, but
concern.
like there's obviously something went wrong in the process of making this movie. Cuz like you're right, like I don't have, like, yes I do, like I have some gripes, and those gripes, fluctuate, but like I said in the spoiler free part, I still think it's a great movie. Like, it is what it is. But I still think that if Sam Raimi did it from the jump, or if the original director never left, the movie would have been a million times better than what it is. That's just my opinion.
Probably. I think maybe whatever the OG director, like, because he left for creative
Yeah.
differences, maybe Kevin Feige should have listened. As crazy as it sounds, bro.
Well, and not only that,
I'm
but
wor-
like
I'm really
it,
worried.
it's also Sam Raimi's job to take some of the stuff that was already shot and change it a little bit. And you can only change so much from the original script. So like it wasn't his complete vision. Like, no matter what side of the argument you're on, of whether it's like whether you think this movie is amazing, whether you think Sam Raimi is amazing, whether you think Sam Raimi's a bad director, like at the end of the day, this wasn't Sam Raimi's complete vision. Point blank, period.
Yeah, yeah. I think that probably had a lot to do with the movie. So like then that leads me to the next question. Like we're assuming that any problems that this movie has is mostly because it was just not put together properly because of behind the scenes problems, and director starts it, other director finishes it, all these crazy problems. Would you be okay with Sam Raimi directing Doctor Strange 3, or do you want him out of the picture after this one.
See, I don't know, because it's a difficult question for me personally because I'm biased against Sam Raimi, because, like, notoriously I hate the original Spider-Man films. Like, as a movie, they're good movies. As a comic book movie, in my opinion, they're fucking awful, especially the third one. Which I mean, that's a unanimous agreement that the third one's awful. But, like, the first one I don't like whatsoever. The second one's pretty good. And I haven't seen any of Sam Raimi's other work, so I don't feel like I have like a fair opinion. You know what I mean? But um I I don't know. I would be open to it, but if it's bad, then I don't want a fourth one or a third one. You know what I mean?
What do you guys think, Brandon?
I wouldn't mind him coming back.
How about you, Adrian?
I the only Sam Raimi movies I've seen is Spider-Man, but I don't have any doubts that he can make a good MCU movie, or like a better one than he did with like his own OG movie. Like he directed it himself, and nothing, just him himself. Like I don't doubt that he can make an amazing one. I just have to see it, so I wouldn't mind one.
Plus,
I feel like, look, honestly, some of the visuals in this is one of the things that I think was the strongest, was the visuals. He I think he tried really hard, and I think it paid off a lot of the time. Like some of the stuff visually in this movie is insane. Um, like there's just a lot of cool shots too. There's like a lot of dynamic moving shots. I'm like, okay, this is definitely Sam Raimi, like like just being fancy behind the camera. So I think that visually the movie is great because of him. But there's other things that I feel like is Sam Raimi as well. Like we all, like Brandon, you talked about how there's a lot of cheesy moments. I 100% agree. And I'm not talking about the music fight. I just mean like small little cheesy banter moments that feel even cheesy for MCU
and
standards.
that's Sam
And
Raimi. Like, I
that's what I'm feeling like. I feel like it's Sam Raimi
because he does
because
tongue in cheek shit, and like, yes, that's fine, but
yeah,
like, some of those tongue in cheek shit wasn't funny. It was just cheesy.
like a cheese ball. No, I'm kidding. So I honestly, I kind of don't want him to return to the MCU, but you know, it is what it is.
What it is. I don't know. I just, like I said, I just want him to like. I just want to see a full movie that he did start to finish, and then, because like, part of my worry is also, when he doesn't want to do something, it's not going to be a good movie, i.e., Spider-Man 3. Like, so, like, there's that worry, because if he doesn't agree with something that Kevin Feige wants him to do, then that's not going to be a good sign for the movie's quality. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
as long as he's not having any creative difficulties, I feel like I wouldn't be against watching him do Doctor Strange 3 start to finish, as long as, like, there's no behind the scenes issues creative wise. That's just me.
All right. Well, does anyone else have anything at all they would like to add?
Fun fact. So you remember how we talked about Shuma Gorath being in this movie? And it was supposed to be that eye
Yeah.
monster tentacle thing. So
Mm-hmm.
apparently, you know, I mean, if you guys remember, I mentioned that Shuma Gorath is basically like immortal. Given that, that eye tentacle monster got clapped, it's not Shuma Gorath. Apparently, that's because I think Universal owns the rights to Shuma Gorath, or some other
They
company.
do?
Yeah. I learned a few months ago, actually, that it's like some copyright shit, and that's why they changed it to Gargantos, which was the eye monster. But yeah, because apparently he's not like 100% owned by Marvel, so they would have gotten sued to shit if they used him, which is kind of upsetting. But it'd be like that.
I mean, well, that company's not even using them. They just have them there,
Yeah.
I guess. Whatever.
It'd be like that.
Oh well.
I think we all agree we could have used a good old Optimus Prime cameo.
Have Lincoln Park in the background while he's making
Yes,
his.
sir.
Oh, bruh. What I've
Man,
done? Could have been
Man.
playing as
This
her
making me
mom's
wanna
got
watch
sucked
Transformers
away.
that.
tonight. Shit.
She'll face herself.
All right. You got anything left for us, Jay?
I did, but you know what? I think this is the perfect time to wrap
Yes,
it up.
sir.
We can talk about it after we finish
Okay.
it.
All right.
I hope you guys enjoyed our little Doctor Strange
ain't
review.
little.
We went off topic a couple
It
times.
ain't little.
It ain't. We went off topic a couple times, but I feel like when we were off topic, we weren't really off topic. We were just on a tangent about said topic.
I don't know. Y'all
But
talking
you know,
about it was one thing that you and Adrian were talking about that was hella off topic.
I forgot
that
what
might
it
be
was,
true,
to be
but we
honest.
don't worry about that. Anyways, as always, all the links are in the description to Diego's YouTube, Jay's YouTube, Adrian's Twitch that is about as dry as the Sahara Desert.
Be like
But
that.
yeah, it's a definitely long review. There's definitely a lot of stuff to unpack about this movie, though. It's not our fault. Like, there's probably still a lot more stuff that we
Talked
could have
about.
talked
Yeah.
more about. But
Time
you know,
constraints. It's midnight. All of us are tired.
yeah, this is already
Yeah.
long as shit. Literally.
Yep.
Yeah, I got work tomorrow.
I gotta edit this in a timely manner, which is not happening because this shit's coming out tomorrow.
As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Follow Diego. Follow Jay. Adrian. I mean, I suppose you can follow him if you want, but you really don't have to because it's not like he puts out content anyways. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, hurt me.
Adrian, I'll never give you a proper shout out until you start streaming at least once a week, every week.
Fine time, pussy.
You're right.
Anyways, hope you guys had a nice night, had a nice day, had a nice morning, a nice drive to work, a nice breakfast, a nice lunch, a nice dinner, a nice shit.
Oh my god.
Maybe a nice
Bruh.
I don't know. Whatever you guys decide to do.
We're
Maybe
not
a nice run.
expanding on this.
Maybe
we're not expanding on this.
Maybe y'all go on runs when you listen. Either way, I hope it was fantastic. And we will catch you guys in the next normal podcast. Have a wonderful, wonderful time.
I'm actually
Goodbye.
cutting that. I fucking hate you.
Why?
No,
Why do you
leave
cut
it
out my
in.
stuff? Yeah, leave it
No.
in,
It's so
man.
funny,
Goodbye.
bro. Come on, bro. Goodbye.